Perfect end to a perfect day. Manchester City 4, Manchester United 1. Oh, what a head! Oh, that's electrifying!
Hat-trick hunting, trick getting.
Still the appetite is there for more. Oh, it is sensational!
Hello, my people. Welcome back to the True City Fan TV. Welcome back to another stream, man. Well, breaking news. Maresca. Ah, man. We can't catch a break, can we? We can't catch a break. First of all, make sure you drop the likes on the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's support Patrick and the community as well. Where do we start? Right. This is gonna be just an hour stream. There'll be quite a few people coming in. If you wanna join us, have your say, let us know. We can I can send it over the link. We can have 5 minutes to speak on the stream. But yeah, I think I've got Adam. Big up, Adam. Hope you're well. So where do we start? Shall we start from the Real Madrid game, and then we can move to today's news? Well, last night in news first, because I think it was dropped last night. But Real Madrid, well, we are out of the Champions League, 5-1 on aggregate. We lost 2-1 at home, 3-0 away. The comeback was never on the cards. To be fair, we've never come back off a Champions League tie. We've never done it.
Not even that. But when was the last time we came back in a Champions League game when we've been three goals down? When was the last time? Because I saw every Tom, Dick, and Harry on Twitter, on YouTube, on Twitter doing remontada, putting glasses on as their profiles. What happened to the remontada?
Well, we've never done it. Not the thing is not about the scoreline. Well, the performance wasn't too bad. We played quite well, to be fair, but it was a bit too late. To be fair, the damage was done in the second leg and the first leg. We started the game pretty well. We were creating chances. Then 20 minutes later, your captain decided to be a goalkeeper and decided to get himself sent off and consider a penalty. This is the guy that the manager trusts. You put him in a press conference before the game to say all the right words to the fan base. The fan base gaslight you ever since that Liverpool game. And then one of the biggest game of the season, you decide to, within 20 minutes, decide to be a goalkeeper on your own box and you get sent off. But yeah, anyway, I think the game was done in the first leg anyway. I think in the first leg, second leg, there was quite some positives in there. We played quite well. We were aggressive without the ball in the first half. But let's face it, Real Madrid had probably the better chances in the game. 5 seconds in, they nearly scored. That's how bad we are. But yeah, I don't think there was much in that game. The atmosphere was pretty good. I think the fans done their job. I just don't feel like the players did. But it is what it is. Heads up onto the next, and it's progress, guys. As Pep said, we'll be back next season. We've lost more games we've lost the same amount of games this season in the Champions League than we've lost the same amount of games than last season. So I don't know where the progress is. The difference is we got knocked out in the playoff, and this season we didn't play the playoff, but we got knocked out in the last 16. But yeah, big up, Adam. What are you saying, brother? You good?
Listen, look, you know it is, Matthias. I've come to a point where whatever I say, whatever you say, whatever Kels say, how many times has me and you, Kels, have said about Bernardo? But guess what? We get labeled. Oh, how you talking bad about Bernardo? Oh, this. Oh, you can't talk bad about your captain. He's giving you everything. Oh, you can't talk bad about Pep. But it seems that some of these players and the manager is immune from criticism. It's like working. It's like working in a working environment. You do something stupid, yeah, and then you think what the manager ain't gonna bring you up, or what HR's not gonna bring you up for the mistake that you've made or the stupid thing that you've made. So tell me that and this my main issue with this fan base is, Mateus, you probably know how it is this policing from certain people in this fan base. Just because simply you don't have the same opinion as them. Yeah, I'm not gonna name people, but there's a girl that you know where she's from a demographic. She's from Nigeria. The way that they target her, like grown-ass men that are in their 40s, 30s, yeah. Some of them are even grandparents, yeah. Mateus, some of them, these are grandparents, and you know who they are. If I wanted to, I can name drop them, but I'm not gonna name drop them. But these lot are going for a girl that's what? She's probably what?
Or you're not speaking about the game, Adam?
No, I'm talking about the game. Look, with the game, I'm not surprised.
Having to go everyone in fan base.
No, listen, I'm not surprised with the game. Look, Mateus, you know what's crazy? I said to Sam, when we did the preview with Sam, he said, City's gonna beat him. I said to Sam, don't be shocked if Madrid beat us. And I said to my issue is Pep. I don't know what he's going to do. He could do something great, or he could do something stupid. And guess what? It was the latter. He did something stupid.
Were you happy with the lineup?
No, Mateus, the moment I saw the lineup, yeah, and I saw Savinho.
What's the problem with the lineup?
Look, what did Savinho do to what against a shit Newcastle?
We're talking about in the second leg. We've already done the stream for the first.
Okay, the first leg, there was no creativity there. And what's funny is
Turkey. What do you mean there was no creativity?
Turkey was on the bench.
No, Turkey started.
But okay, but at least he made something. He attempted, and this is the argument that I've made with Mo Rashid. Like the question that I really want to ask people in this fan base. Okay, yes, I get Haaland hasn't been great, but have we as a club also been playing to his strength as well? That's the question that I want to ask to people. Because yes, you can say two stones. You can say two stones can be two stones. Yeah, I agree that yes, Haaland, he has been poor himself. But have we also been playing to his strengths as well?
What do you mean? What do you mean by playing to his strength?
Because there are times where I see him, in a good positions, and then these will do 1,100,000 passes rather than just whipping a ball in or putting the ball in. Okay, yes, it may not per se come out, yes, but at least take the risk. Okay, if you see him getting into a good position, I'd rather you just put that ball in, and okay, you may take the risk, and okay, it might play out. You never know. He might end up getting onto that ball, and it goes in the back of the net. Okay, if he doesn't, if a different player sees his movement,
there has been chances great for Haaland.
Yes, and that's what I say. That's what I say. I agree. Yes, he has also been poor, but there have been games where
we just say we're not playing to his strength. But
no, that's what I said. I said
we're getting chances for him. He had a chance with the game against Chelsea.
No, that's what I said. I said two. No, I said that's what I said. Two rights can be wrong, but there have been games, Mateus, where we've offered him fuck all. Honestly speaking, I've seen him just running for like basically scraps.
Who would you play then?
To be honest with you, some people say Marmoush, but then are you? Is Pep gonna drop Haaland? No.
If you drop Haaland, who would you play?
Look. Me personally, I'd play both Marmoush and Haaland, in my opinion. But people are saying they would rather Marmoush over Haaland, but each to their own. That's their opinion. And at the end of the day, if that's what they want, that's what they want. You know.
I don't think the problem against Real Madrid was the lack of chances. We're creating enough chances. I just feel like we start the game well. The team was on the front foot, and the red card obviously killed the whole game, killed the whole game plan. And there's nothing to do with Pep. It's not like, I think the way he set up the team, it was definitely for a win. But at the end of the day, you can set up a win, but if the players on the pitch are not doing their job, there's not much the manager can do. I think he fucked up in the first leg with his team selection and his substitutions. But second leg, he set up right. But at the end of the day, the players didn't execute the plan. We had chances in there to score in the first 10 minutes of the game, but we didn't. And then we go on the other end, we consider the penalty, and our captain gets a red card. And then the whole game plan is out of the window. So,
and he's meant to be the captain. As a captain, you're supposed to lead by example.
yeah, so that's the thing. At the end of the day, you can blame the manager or Pep Guardiola in certain things like team selection and the style of play, and the substitution, in-game management, and all that. But when it comes down to the foot on the pitch, these players are getting paid thousands of pounds a week. They need to take some responsibility. Do you know what I mean? You don't need a manager to tell you how to score a goal. The manager is there to create a platform where you can score goals. But when I see, and I put that clip out on X, yeah, Nouri is running with the ball through the middle, and then you've got Haaland and Doku, right? But rather than both going inside, right, going in between the defenders, they start moving out wide because it's their comfort zone. We've got a striker whose his movement is on the back post, and we've got a winger who is alleged to get into the box. He goes out so he can receive the ball, so he can dribble and cross it. He's never eyeing out for the goal. So it's not about that's not on the manager. That's come down to the player. The players needs to be smart on the pitch. You can blame Jack Grealish. Oh, he doesn't score goals. But what Jack Grealish does, he always makes the right decision because he's smart. We've got players like Doku and Savio and a bit of Haaland as well. They're not smart enough. They always make the wrong movement. They always make the wrong decision. Doku needs to take a touch, or 3 touch, or dribble just to cross it. He never crossed the first time. He never literally crossed the ball first time. 1 touch, bang, cross. He needs to dribble. And when he does, the more you hold on to a ball, yeah, the more players come at you to close you down. He's not smart. This guy, and I've been telling a lot of people, yeah, he's got the ability to play for this club, but he's not got the brain cells, yeah, to start for this football club. He can be a good squad player, but he's never going to be good enough to be a starter.
Who's that? Doku or Savinho?
Yeah? Doku.
Oh.
Right? Even Savio, right? I hear you on the problems with the manager. He has to do better. Consider the amount of money we spend. But at the same time, I look at these players, some of them, they're just not good enough. Not good enough, man. They might be good enough to a certain teams with a different type of setup. But for the team that has the ball constantly, they're just not good enough, man. And on Tuesday, yeah, listen, we done well. Big up Kusanov. He was probably our best player in that pitch. That's the guy the manager doesn't trust enough, and that's on him because he's our best defender. And we've been spending the season playing Diaz, which, by the way, yeah, I don't know what he was doing in our first half. The moment we got down to 10 men, It was the moment he started fighting with the ref, started fighting with the bench, started fighting with everyone on the pitch. That's why the manager took him off at half time. Where's your fight on the pitch? You're supposed to be the second captain. Right? It's not leadership. You can't run. Your marking is not there. It's like your awareness is gone. It's a shit show in that back line. Big up Kusanov, and he's done well. But at this right moment in time, even Gay, when he came on, he was poor. That cross from Vinicius, that cross for the Vinicius goal, you're a top defender. You should not allow that. You ball watching. Yeah. It looks like at this moment in time, I would rather just put in fucking John Stones and a Kusanov in there. Do you know what I mean? But I'd say kid is just doing a madness in it. Go on, Adam.
No, you pretty much said everything, you know. And this is what I say, people. Like, it's all great, Mateus. That's why I was laughing when Hamza did that space. He said, we need an Anderson, we need a Tonali, and yes, okay, they're all great. Yes, we can get these players. But the thing is the manager going to change? Yeah, is he going to change? That's the question. That's the $1 million question. It's all great getting these players, but it's all great, like what I said. But is Anderson going to be playing if Rodri is still there? Because
the thing is, people are crying on about Anderson, right?
Yeah.
You need to remember, right? Anderson is a defensive-minded player.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
Pep Guardiola has told us that he doesn't like to play with two defensive-minded midfielders. So the fan base, right, got one thing in mind, but they forgot what the manager likes. The fan base wants Nico J and Rodri. The manager doesn't like to play two defensive-minded midfielders. That's why he only plays one or the other. Right? So you think that by signing Anderson, who is a defensive-minded midfielder, he will play alongside the DM. That's never happening under Pep. Pep never's done that. It's not like he's going to do it now. If he wanted to do that, right, he would have done it already this season. He would play Rodri and Nico G, but he does not, because he doesn't believe playing two DMs is the answer. So I don't know. I don't think Anderson would change anything, because at the end of the day, but if we sign Anderson, right, that's what Pep was going to do. He'll ask Anderson to play as a DM, right? And when Anderson struggles, because we demand so much in our DMs, because let's not forget, Pep had to coach Nico G into play that position. If Anderson struggles, comes in with the big money, right? Tag, right? And he struggles to play that DM, right? Pep will put him on the bench, and he will tell everyone he's not smart enough to play in that position. And then what's going to happen is, well, he's not good enough. His confidence he's going to kill his confidence. Every time he come on, we just be a disaster class. And then, right, poor signing, bin. It's just the same as Reinders. We've been doing that for forever. Midfielder. We signed Nunes. Yeah, he was number 8, box to box. With every time he was starting in that game, Nunes had 8 starts in his first season. Pep played him as a DM. And Pep turned around and said he's not smart enough to play in that position in midfield. But you were not playing in his best position, right? So what makes you think, right, if you sign Anderson, he's going to be that box to box 8 that you want? He's going to be played as a DM, and if he doesn't do the job that Pep wants he's going to be on the bench. It's just a cycle of midfielders that we sign in, and 3 months after we deem not good enough. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, Tears, are you going to Wembley? Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm getting the train 12:55 on. I'll be in London at an hour, just an hour before kickoff. I think the train gets there 3:28, 3:26. I might get the 1/2 one. There's I've just seen yesterday. There's a 12:30 one, and to get there on time. The reason why I'm gonna try to get the 1/2 one is because on the weekend there's always problem with the train lines. There's always delay. So better be dead early than late. So yeah, but yeah, I am going, bro. Yeah, like if click on this will loses a lot of games. Clinic on this will lose a lot of games. Barcelona had 15 shots, 7 scored 7. So that's the problem. Yeah, there was a game. I think it was it West Ham game or the other game. We had 21 shots, 7 on target, 1 goal. We're not clinical enough. Do you know what I mean? And that's not in the manager. The players need to be clinical enough in the box. See if I celebrate the performance. Well, you got to celebrate the very little things now this season, bro. Do you know what I mean? West Madrid team in 20 years, and I'm a rep for not being happy and proud of a 5-1 loss after spend 60 million. Yeah, you shouldn't be proud of a loss, bro. Do you know what I mean? We lost the game. It's not good enough, man. Nah. Yeah, Maresca. I don't think Maresca is the answer, bro. If you think players out of position, Maresca is worse. If you're talking about a guy, right, that he decided to his midfield 3 is Enzo Fernandez in the 10, Reece James and Caicedo as a double pivot. Your best right back is playing as a double pivot in a DM position. That's insane. And you put Palmer out wide because you want Enzo to be the 10. Brother, if you think Pep is playing players out of position, right, went into Maresca, and Maresca is not good enough, bro. He's got too much ego for a guy that hasn't won pretty much anything, really. He won the Club World Cup, yeah, well done. But his ego is like he's a fucking World Cup manager or Champions League winner. Do you know what I mean? Pep is clearly washed. Anyone that is on Pep out, he's just been deluded. He needs a rest, refresh new ideas. I think we need. I genuinely believe we need a new voice. I think we need we need some. Probably, I think it's time for Pep. But at the same time, I don't think some of these players are good enough, bro. We've got some good players, but it's just a matter of how Pep uses them. And some of our good players are not being used, like Nico Gonzalez are not being used. Kusanov, let's face it, Kusanov is only start playing games now.
But Mateus,
Kusanov only came into the team because Diaz was injured with Vardio.
No, but Mateus, we all knew that. What was it? We all knew the moment Diaz came back, Kusanov would be chucked straight to the what was it? To to the bench. Same thing with Rodri. We knew that the moment Rodri came, without a shadow of a doubt, he's getting chucked. He's gonna get chucked to the bench.
Well, listen, that's the thing. I predicted that. I told you that before. The thing is, the way Pep, like with the way football is going and the way Pep wants to play football are complete two different things. Pep wants to control the opposition, wants to have more of the ball. That's why he plays Rodri. Do you know what I mean? And if you play transition football, up and down, then Rodri doesn't fit into that because Rodri cannot physically, he cannot longer cover a lot of grounds defensively. He can do it on the ball, but defensively, he's not there. And that's not on Rodri because at the end of the day, he's been out for over a year. So we need to add some sort of protection next to him, and we're not been doing that. People think that playing Bernardo next to Rodri is a solution. I mean, it's not a solution. That's even more problem. Haaland is fucking.
But no, you know they'll tell you, Bernardo, he runs up all over the pitch. He's everywhere. He's a dog. He's this that. He's like but then the main thing, like what you always said in the WhatsApp GC, he does everything else, but except from helping Rodri. And you pretty much said it fantastic last time when you said, he's mastered looking busy.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely at the time, I swear to God, at the time I was laughing. But now when I sit back at it and I say, you know what, shit. You know what, Mateus has a great point, you know. I've seen him more
just
times.
there, bro. I keep telling you, he just there
Because
running
I was
around.
at the time I was cracking
Look
out
at that
laughing.
first
And
goal
then
from look at the penalty. Yeah, he was the only player that was marking no one on that midfield. He was too far behind, first and foremost, and he was marking no one. He lost. Yeah, he was like as soon as that ball got past midfield, he was just standing there with no one to mark. Right, and he started tracking back, and he made the mess out of it. All right, listen, it's not a dig at him, but at the same time, right. When he had a very decent game against Liverpool, everyone was, oh my God, I hope at 1 year extension, I hope he stays. I was like, no. He needs to go, right? And I hope we win the title if we're up to win this season, and he lives on a high. But at the same time, yeah, let's not. Oh my God, just because he had a few good games, he needs to stay for experience 1 more year, captain. No, none of this bullshit. He needs to go. But at the same time, Bernardo is not the whole problem. I think the whole the team itself, even Pep included.
no, that's why I say, look, okay, look. Yes, I criticize Bernardo, but I think that's why I say, look, he's the least of our problem. It's the same thing that goes for Haaland when people like Mo Rashid criticize Haaland, and I find it funny when people even go for Donnarumma. Okay, yes, is Donnarumma a great? Has he let in some goals? Yeah. Didn't Edison allow some cheap ass goals in as well? We're moving like Edison didn't allow in some fucking silly goals that he should have not that he should have saved. So let's not do. I just think that
Every
sometimes,
goalkeeper has a Bozo
yeah.
moment. Every single
Look,
one of them, even
it's
Courtois.
listen. It's natural. Every goalkeeper is gonna have that like a lap of concentration. It happens. Like look at Edouard Mendy when he was at Chelsea. He was like he was great, and then look at him after that. The guy was making errors fucking left, right, and center. So actually, it's. I think, look, they're the least of our problems. Donnarumma, Haaland, and Bernardo, they're the least of our worries. And I know Kels ain't gonna like it, but okay, is he needed in this squad? Personally, in my opinion, no. But he's the least of our worry when our manager keeps on sticking in the same shit rather than sorting out the problem. He just wants to paper over the crack. Yeah, but what are you, man, on the comment section saying?
Yeah, the players are not good enough, but Pep doesn't help as well. Yeah, I agree, bro. I agree. We've got some very good. I think it all comes down to right. Can we make our team difficult to beat with the profiles that we have? Yes, we can. But the problem is there is two different ideas. We as a fan base, we want two holding midfielders and a creative midfielder in front of him. For example, we want the Nico G and Rodri, and then we've got a check. We want to check it up in front of them. The reason why we want that is because we're thinking outright. We need to add another defensive player in that team just to make ourselves even more difficult. Just to make ourselves difficult to break as a team. Because right now, right, 2 or 3 passes, we are the opposition are in our box. Do you know what I mean? We just like some sort of physicality. We just like lack of dual winners in our midfield. That's why we as a fan, we see, right, we need to add an extra protection in that midfield in front of the back line. But Pep sees it different. In Pep's mind, he'll just think, right, I want to play with one DM. And then that's why he said in the press conference, if I play another defensive minded midfielder, it would take the creativity up front. But at the same time, Pep has failed to realise that we're not creating anything through the middle without Cherky. What we're doing is create things from out wide with Doku and whatever Savio sort of, to one extent. Do you know what I mean? We've not been creating enough chances through the middle, bro. We used to have David Silva, Gundo, KDB. Do you know what I mean? World-class players. But now, we've got a washed Bernardo running around with the captain armband. We've got a Rodri who can only play when he's got the ball, because when he doesn't have the ball defensively, this Rodri, not the Rodri before injured, but this one is absolutely awful. Awful. Right? And then you've got the centre halves, right? For example, yeah, we went to we were playing like it's like Kusanov and Gehi was playing well, right? They were both the partnership was good. Right? We were looking solid. Both defenders who likes to defend. And then what he'd done is after Liverpool, he decided to break that partnership to include Diaz. Then ever since then, Gehi will start playing awful. And then Gehi was benched. And his confidence was probably down now. The way that second goal, Real Madrid, the second goal from Real Madrid happened, it's just a player. Like the Gehi that we signed in the first 2 weeks would never let that happen. But now he just kills his confidence. Why? Because we keep changing the person next to him. Kusanov was working just fine. I know Diaz is your guy, but at the same time, you need to think about the team, right? Diaz hasn't been too bad this season. I think Diaz has been all right. But at the same time, you've got Gehi and Diaz, who are two similar profile of defenders that do not complement each other. Do you know what I mean? You need to have different profile. The reason why Stones and Diaz work so well is because they're both different profile players. Do you know what I mean? Gehi, if you go back to Diaz's first season, Gehi reminds me about a little bit of Diaz in his first season, blocking shots, looking like his desire to defend was there. But Diaz this season, listen, he's not been the worst, but he's not been the Diaz
Mateus,
of
you know
old.
what's funny? I remember I said last season, yeah. And I said it. I remember I was one of the first people to say it last season. Yeah, that Ruben Diaz is not good enough. But guess what? You know I was good? I was negative. Oh, because you're jealous because he's with Maya Jama. You're telling me I give her 2 craps about who he's fucking sleeping with.
Listen, whether it's Diaz or Gehi in that back line, I generally do not care much as long as Kusanov is there.
No, but that I was just about to get to that point.
Either
Look how
Stones,
funny it
even
is.
if you play
Look,
Stones in there.
but you know what I find is
as long as
funny?
you've got Kusanov there.
No, but Mateus, you know what I find funny? The time that Diaz was out, look at the stability of the defense when we had Kusanov and Gehi. The balance of both of them with the defense that it was, that you had Nunes as the right back, and then you had O'Reilly as the left back. You could see that, yes, okay, did we concede goals? Yes. But it's more it was more balanced than what the centre-back partnership of Gehi and Diaz, or Kusanov and Diaz. That's my thing is I'd rather have a partnership of Kusanov and Gehi. I said it last season. I said Diaz cannot play in a high line. Even Carl said it as well. But guess what? The moment you say you voice your opinion, you get labeled negative, or you're talking too much, or you can't voice your opinion in certain people's eyes. Because now
Nunes is not good enough to play midfield, brother. How many midfielders we've signed and we keep labeling them as not good enough to play midfield?
It's hilarious. That's what I
It
said.
seems to me like it's every midfielder. Kovacic is not good enough.
Yeah,
Reinders now is not good enough.
he's not good.
Nunes cost 54 million, is not good enough. Who else we've signed? Check it. Foden. It's falling off a cliff. I don't know what's happened with Foden. Nico Gonzalez. Oh my! When we first signed Nico Gonzalez, not good enough. Who's good enough then? Because at the same time, I can guarantee you that, right? If we end up signing Matty Anderson, right, and he plays him ask him to do a complete different job he used to, or something that he's not good at, we'll turn around 3 months after, right, and say he's not good enough. We will say one thing is you play for Forest, when you play for Man City, it's different. He's not good enough because at this right moment in time, right, Semenyo is not good enough. Matty Gay, I've seen people say Matty Gay is not good enough. We can't keep doing that, bro, because at the same time, because right now we're spending so much money, we're spending loads of money, right, on these players, and we not use the right platform for them to excel, right? And not even 3 months now, only takes a couple of weeks. Players start having stinkers. They're not good enough. Who's good enough then? Nunes, right? When Nunes signed, I remember his debut, right? He came on off the bench. He was playing a number 8 and he was carrying the ball. He played well in his debut. His second start, his first start, he started against Wolves, right? Remember Wolves away. He played alongside Kovacic. Nunes was playing DM. Kovacic was playing 8. Nunes had a stinker, against Wolves. He was playing DM. His first start against his old club, right? Any sort of manager, any sort of fan base was realized, right? It's his first start. He's not the football club, and he's playing against his old club. So they were giving him a lot of stick in the ground, right? Because he was away. We think like, okay, he's playing out position and he's playing against his old fan. Let's give him time. And he started again. He started as a DM. DM. He got 8 start as a DM. Nunes was never a DM. Why are we playing him as a DM? Then we went out there, right? Two seasons before, right? We got Calvin Phillips for some unknown reason, because he had a good Euros. He was playing well for England. Calvin Phillips was playing a double pivot when he was at Leeds. He was not the DM. But we decided, right, let's sign Calvin Phillips. He's going to be the backup for Rodri. Calvin Phillips is not DM. Right? Because if we got in there, Calvin Phillips pretty much like the same season Anderson is having, it was the season Calvin Phillips was having at Leeds. Because if we go back, and if you go decide sign Anderson and think, right, Anderson is going to be the solution, and Pep turns around and starts playing Anderson as a DM, as a hold midfielder, and he's not doing the job, we as a fan base, we're gonna say he's not good enough because we're not playing these players in the right positions, especially the midfielders, bro. Like, what position does Foden play? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Rodri, right? Look at the patience he showed for Rodri. Rodri, first season, absolutely awful. He never came in the press conference and said he's not smart enough to play midfield. But Nunes had a very, very quite average season in his first season, but he's not smart enough. He can only play right back. Really? Come on, man. What are we doing here? We're getting Maresca, not things. Nah, man. I don't want Maresca. Ibrahim. I don't think he's good enough, bro. He's going to be worse than Pep. I'd rather Pep stays if Maresca is the only option. Is because Palmer got injured a long time ago. Really? What position was Palmer playing in the Club World Cup final? He was playing right wing. Enzo was playing the 10. Luis James at DM. I know what I'm talking about, bro. Yes, definitely some of this playing not good enough. I think it's common knowledge that we have a double pivot when we played a number 10. I know, bro. I just Calvin Phillips was just the first name that came up in my mind, bro. You know what I mean? Because Calvin Phillips, if you remember when he was at Leeds, he was getting gassed up by the whole media in this country, right? He was in the team of the Euros for England, right? And then we decide, right, this is the guy, back up for Rodri, and then bam, let's spend 50 or 60 odd million on him. It was poor, man, poor. Foden had health issues. Nico, well, what health issues does he's got? Has he what health issues has he got? Tell me. Checking Reinders are good enough, but they just can't defend. Well, we can't. Czech is not defending. Yeah, that's the thing. They need to do more a bit defensively, but at the same time, I think Reinders makes the right runs. I think Reinders was playing well in that first half and against Real Madrid. Him and Gustavo were probably the best players. Even the chances we were creating, the Rodri one was Reinders. Reinders make the run in the box, laid up for Rodri. He was making the right runs in the box. He was playing well, but for some reason, we decided to take him off. It's been on that his first season. What do you mean his first season? You mean since the treble? Yeah, bro. I've been saying, man. I think I put him. I think I put a tweet. I'll share it with you, yeah. Because it's not acceptable, bro. All right, it's simply not acceptable the way these guys, yeah, are moving in the box. All right. No one, yeah, in this team ever makes a run in the near post. No one. Everyone, they just decide, right, let's camp in the far post, hopefully. Right, the problem, what they don't see is, right, if someone is crossing the ball and you're hiding on the far post, that ball needs to go past 5-4 players before it reaches out to you. So why is everyone camping on the far post? It's pathetic, bro. I'm sick and tired of this shit, man. Right, this is the picture, yeah, and I'm gonna share with you, yeah. And let me just, what is that? Share screen, right? Right. This is the picture, right? And big up Profe. I'll come back to you, Profe, just once. I just need to show something. This is the picture, right? So Doku was pretty much here, right? So Doku was here. So Doku made the right run to here in order to open up the space. Nouri start running through the middle, right? Haaland, as a striker, yeah, your run should be between the centre halves, because the moment you make that run, guess who's going to come near you? This guy here, Rudger. And that frees up Doku to go 1v1. But what happened is, as you know, your striker stopped running outwards toward the back post. He started running around this defender, right? And Doku start going on the byline. None of them ever attempted, right, to make a run straight. Just run straight through goal. So you can, when you receive the ball, yeah, you 1v1 with the keeper. Yeah, it's not acceptable at this level. Brain dead footballers, right? Brain that you don't need a coach. Yeah, you're paying thousands of pounds a week. You don't need a coach to tell you, right, when to make the right run. Why are we hide? Why we've got a winger, right? Who just came? He can never. If that, imagine that was Sterling and Aguero. Yeah, imagine if that's Aguero, that's Sterling, and that's Nouri. It's a goal. Why? Because we know they're making the right runs to increase their chances to score. Haaland is just running towards the back post, and Doku is just run in the touchline because he wants to receive the ball to dribble. Yeah, you told us at the beginning of the season you haven't seen the best of me. I want to get more into the box to scoring goals. I know stats are important in this modern age of football, but you not get into the box to score goals, mate. You just keep running in the same spaces. Yeah, I know you, there's one thing, yeah, you might not have seen that on the TV, yeah, but in the ground, yeah, Eight Nori was constantly shouting at Doku to make the runs, to make the proper runs. Doku was just standing in there. These players are not smart enough, right? The manager is to blame for the tactics, the style of play, the setup, right? When I see things like that on the football pitch, yeah, so these players need to start taking some accountability because they get paid thousands of pounds a week. I don't want to see your motivation speech on Instagram. I don't want to see your post. Oh my God, pray the Lord, Jesus Christ, I love you on X. I don't want to see that. It's all well and good, yeah, fair enough. But at the same time, yeah, see this energy that you've got to post a motivational speech on Instagram, put a photo there. Oh my God, I'm ready. No, show that on the pitch, because what I see on the pitch is a continuation of doing the same crap. Wrong movement, like wrong decision making on the ball. It's like you only use your head for a haircut and fucking having dreadlocks. It's pathetic, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is right. This is the clip. I'm not gonna get done by copyright because, right? One sec. Where is that? Let's just fucking zoom in. It's crap, right? Alright. This is the clip. Where look, just brother, just look here. So we went there, right, bro? We went for there, an opportunity to score a goal. Look at where our striker is running. He's running away from the centre half. Doku is running on the touchline, brother. He's putting his body like that because he wants to run this way, brother. Put your brother like that. Be a Raheem Sterling. Like, look at that. Now there's no one in between the centre halves. Doku is far off, right? And Haaland is running towards the back post. It's a shambles. Right? Doku and Haaland, they've been playing together for 3 years and none of them understand each other. How is that acceptable? Yeah? Next season is going to be Doku's 4th season. What's going to say? I'm ready now. Haaland, not good enough, mate. Pep, you've not been good enough either. Yeah? Some of your team selection are not acceptable. But at the same time, yeah, your players are not doing the job. It's pathetic all around. Yeah. But we got Prophet, man. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm here just listening. I don't know. To me, once Haaland doesn't make that run, I don't know what you want Doku to do. But at the end of the day, the attacking patterns are still not good enough. At the end of the day, we still do not have enough presence in the box. And even if we do have some presence in the box, it is static, right? Because check out the Bernabeu. Nobody's gambling. Nobody's gambling. Nobody's gambling. So if we do have numbers in the box, nobody's gambling. And more times than not, players are outside of the box, standing and watching. So I'm not quite sure what is happening in training. It is simply this. The long and short of it is we just need a new voice, new attacking patterns, and we see what can happen. Because we have been seeing this for what? A long time now. This is what? Doku's 3rd season. I know where the ball is going. Once Doku gets it on his left foot, it's going to the near post. If he gets it on his right foot,
it doesn't even beat the first one.
Yeah, but that happens sometimes. But then again, if he has 2 to 3 defenders and there's nobody there to pass it to, then what is he going to do? We keep getting this mindset. I think we have gone into a mindset where we just love to blame the players. From the first season, Doku came and he was wide on the touchline. Yeah, because when Doku just came and was scoring goals, he was coming inside. And then all of a sudden, he's out on the wing, 1v2, 1v3.
Scoring goals? He scored 1 goal, bro.
No, man, his first season, he was scoring goals and assisting, but he was playing differently. He wasn't stuck on the outside, right? And then after that, and then again, he was injured most of that season anyway. But when he did come back, he's out on the touchline, inverted fullback. Second season, majority of the season, he's out on the touchline, inverted fullback. It is not, the inverted fullback tactic is dead. It doesn't make any sense. We must be the only club.
Bro, he had 8 Nouri, in that game, and 8 Nouri spent first half shouting at him because he was not making the. See, whenever 8 Nouri, right, was receiving the ball and was going on the byline, Doku was standing behind 8 Nouri. Doku was never made an effort, right? I need to make that run inside the box so I can receive the ball back from 8 Nouri. He was standing behind 8 Nouri, and then 8 Nouri won a corner, and 8 Nouri was like, Jeremy, fucking making the run.
Well, I don't know how good your ears are to hear all of that, but even if that is the case, that's a one game.
It's right in front of us.
That's one game.
It's right in front of us.
Yeah, but that's one game. That's one game. We can point to that. What about? And the other thing is, why is it always going? But was it always going to Doku? Why is it always going to Doku? Because that is my other point. It is constantly going to every game when you start to remember it. Once Doku is playing and it's any big-ish game, we're always going down the left-hand side. What happened to midfield? What happened to the right-hand side? So,
well, the midfield is clearly not there.
But then what is it? Then why are we spending so much money? I can tell you how City is going to attack versus Arsenal or any big team. It is get the ball to Doku and hope something happens. Where's your right hand of real players?
Is the answer then?
Huh?
Do you think Maresca is the answer?
Maresca cannot be the answer. How do we know this? We saw him at Chelsea. We saw what he did at Chelsea. So we have 2 seasons of evidence to see how he plays. It's the same madness, experimenting, the same inverted fullbacks, playing Reece James as a DM, and he's a right. It is going to be the same madness all over again. Maybe
I agree.
Maybe we'll be a little bit defensively better, I imagine. But the attack is going to be the same.
Yeah.
Slow passing, and then every now and then he plays a game that we play vertical. It's just a carbon copy of Pep, and it's not working. So Maresca is not going to work either, unless he's going to come in and just change. Maresca cannot be the answer. We have evidence.
Change, bro. And the thing is, the thing about Maresca is the guy is arrogant for a guy that hasn't won. Like, we won 1 trophy. And he sat in the press conference, last season. Chelsea was 3 points. I think Chelsea was 3 points behind Liverpool, right? I think that was after Christmas. And he had the easiest run. He sat in there and said, we're not in the title race. We're only here for the Champions League qualification. Brother, you're 3 points behind. What do you mean you're not in the title race? And then this season said, we now this season we have to go out there and compete for titles. When the results start going in a different way, he was like, well, it's a process. We need time. Look at Mikel Arteta, 5 years. I was like, brother, you're not getting 5 years of process a month there.
Listen, we there are certain things we need to sort out. And for those of us who watch football elsewhere, there is no way we can be a big club spending so much money and our attack is going to come on one side of the pitch. I want somebody to tell me what sense that makes. Real Madrid can attack us with Vinny, or they can attack us on the left side. They can attack us with another player. Some of them I don't even know the name. The name of these players, right? Real Madrid can go through the middle. So they have all options available to them based on match situation. With us, it doesn't matter what the match situation is. If Doku is on the pitch, we're going to force it down the left-hand side, right? Semenyo, if memory serves, Semenyo plays on the left or the right for Bournemouth. He has come to Manchester City. He is now playing number 10. I am asking the question, when we bought Semenyo, didn't we buy him based off his performances on either flank, left or right? So why is it that when he's now at City, he's at the 10? Why is it we keep buying players? We're seeing them being doing great in a particular position, and then as soon as they come to Manchester City, they are somewhere else. And then we expect the players to perform. It doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense. You're going to tell us that people are going to tell us that Lamine Yamal and Olise are the best wingers in the world. I watch the games of Bayern. I watch the games of Barcelona. These men have the midfield there and they have the fullbacks there to assist. How many times do you see Lamine Yamal versus 1v3, 1v2 with the fullbacks sitting somewhere in midfield? You don't see it. It doesn't matter unless it's Messi or some other magical player from years gone by. They're not going to consistently beat 1v3.
I was watching, bro. I was watching the Chelsea game against PSG last night. But the way that them fullbacks were going up and down and helping their wingers, it got to a point where the fullbacks were the wingers.
But the thing is, Matthias, PSG can do both in the fullbacks can drop into midfield depending on the match situation or the support. The midfield, we have a decent enough midfield, and I tell you guys again, it boils down to this.
What would your option be in our midfield?
Midfield, you use Nico G, right? You use Nico O, and you bring in Cherky. So you have guile, you have pace, you have power. That's your midfield three. They have legs, so you don't have to put in legs to save anybody. You have legs, you have the defensive work, etc. Right? If you need to make a sub, let us say Cherky's tired or Cherky's not doing it, you have Foden that can go into the number 10 if you're making a positive sub. But it is Rodri and Bernardo, and they keep playing not because of the form that they currently possess. They are being played because of what they did in days. Yeah. Oh, Rodri won the Ballon d'Or. He's a better player than Nico G. Is he a better player? No. Based on what we need in the season. Is he the player to play there? No. The answer is no. So what we have basically done is pissed away the season because of sentiment. We want to get Rodri into form.
One thing I agree. I don't think there is a need to play Bernardo Silva and Rodri every single game. I think there has to be
it is not working
personnel in that midfield. But I feel like
it's not working.
Every game now we go into every 3 days, you just keep playing Bernardo, Rodri, and someone else in there. Sometimes he's changed form. Sometimes it's O'Reilly. The next day is Reinders. The next day is Cherky. But them two are there every day, every 3 days.
It's not working.
Yeah. Listen, defensively does not work. But on the ball, offensively, I can see why he's using them. But at the same time, we are getting done defensively more often than not.
But attacking wise, it's not working either because the ball is not going. All right. I cannot tell when last Rodri made a line breaking pass, and worse, Bernardo Silva. And he's never in the position where he's supposed to be. What is are they helping the attack? No. Bernardo Silva right now Bernardo Silva is hampering the midfield because when he wants some balance, all right. Nico O, Rodri, and Nico G, right? Nico G played as an 8. Everybody's all of a sudden, well, we can't play Nico G because he's a defensive midfielder. Idiots. What position was he playing when he was at Porto? It certainly wasn't 6. And he was advanced. He was getting assists and scoring goals. So how all of a sudden now he has come to Manchester City? Everybody forgets what he was doing prior. And this is a problem with the fan base. The fan base is so brainwashed. Anything that they're told, they just gobble it up. We can see with our eyes, Rodri and Bernardo is not going to do anything. It doesn't make any sense, right? Anytime Bernardo is not on the field, the play is more fluid. Am I saying to bench him the entire season? No, but you pick and choose when to play him. You cannot be constantly playing in.
We've played some fluid football with Bernardo and that. So
Bernardo, I can't recall that.
No, Bernardo and Rodri. That was probably Bernardo and Nico G. The thing about Nico G is just there to do the defensive work. He allows all the players to do their work. Do you know what I mean? Nico G is someone who knows his position. Rodri plays a bit more expansive. Rodri is more of, I need to be involved in all the phases of the game. Nico G is like, right, I'm just here, win the ball back, lays over to the guys up front.
But are the boys down to what is? But Matthias, if what Rodri is doing is not working, then something needs to be done. It is not working. The minute the man
I agree.
He did a cameo.
That's down to the
He
manager.
did a cameo. He did a cameo, and everybody shot on Nico G. Oh, you see that? Rodri just came in, and I told everybody, and I told everybody, and I told even Kez that listen, it is just a cameo. If he's going to use Rodri like that for these cameos, that's a good way to bring Rodri back into the team. But no, after that, it's just 90, 90, 90. And we have not seen any of that kind of passing since, because playing a cameo versus playing 90 minutes is totally different. Am I saying that Rodri is not good? Because you know how our fan base thinks. Once you're pointing out certain things that are not working, it's automatically, oh, Rodri is no longer good. And what do we need? No. Bernardo Silva is not what is needed. No. Right? And if we go in, and we're going to go into the finals Sunday, and I can name the first 3 names on the team sheet is Rodri, Bernardo, Diaz. I don't have any what are they going to do versus Arsenal? Nothing is going to come from the midfield. I don't even know if he's going to start Turkey in the final. That is how bad it is. Maybe if Turkey starts, something can happen. I don't know if Turkey is going to play the finals. How is that possible? Turkey should be the first name on the team sheet in the midfield. I don't know if he's going to play the finals. But I know that Rodri and Bernardo is going to play in midfield. So there's no creativity in the midfield. So that is dead. If Doku starts, everything is going to go down the left-hand side. Arsenal can lock up that easy. Lock up that easy. We're easy to play against.
The new signings, though, Semenyo and Gehi, because since we signed Semenyo, it seems to me that the Semenyo is this guy that just plays every game, doesn't matter how shit he is, he just plays. He started really well. He was running through an adrenaline, and he was getting that, was scoring goals. But now that adrenaline has worn off, and he just, to be fair to Semenyo, he gets asked to play different position every single game. 1 minute he's been asked to play in the 10, be the creative. The next minute he's asked to be as a winger. So it's a bit confusing. But what do you make of them 2 signings?
We are not platforming our players to do well. And the excuse is, oh, it's just his first season. When Semenyo came, he was either on the right or the left. Yeah? Depending on if Doku is fit or not. He has done well, because what does he do? He'll come into the box. Right? All of a sudden, and he's doing well, he's getting the goals, looks decent. All of a sudden, he has now gone into number 10. He does not have, it's like when Alvarez was here and Pep was shoehorning him into the number 10. You could see that it doesn't work. It is not going to work. He's not that kind of player.
Bro,
so
I miss Alvarez, bro. I miss Alvarez so much, man. Alvarez was a
but if Alvarez was here, it would be a waste of time, because what would he would treat Alvarez just like how he's treating Marmoush, playing him somewhere else where he is ineffective. And that is my point. We are getting these new players, they are doing well in a certain system or playing a particular position, and then we get them, he wants to do something else that is counterproductive to what the player can offer. It is foolish. Now everybody's cursing Semenyo because of his touch here, there, and there. Semenyo was not made to play at number 10. You're either going to use Semenyo as a center forward, left or right wing. That's it. You don't want him to be trying to create anything or hold on to anything or trying any dribbles or anything like that, because that is not his thing. You want Semenyo to what? Take the ball on the half turn and do something. That's not his job.
Well, someone have suggested to play Marmoush, Haaland, Semenyo. We've tried that and we didn't look good. But to
Why?
be
But
fair,
why would you play that?
we tried that without any creative midfielder in behind them. We tried when we played Mamouche, Haaland, Semenyo, we played Rodri, O'Reilly, and the captain. And he was asking Semenyo to be literally just creating the chance for Haaland and Mamouche, rather than asking the midfielders to create the chance for the attackers. He was asking one of the attackers to create the chance for two attackers. It was a mess, bro. And
It is madness.
every time the
It
ball
is
was
madness.
on, their first touch, they can't hold up the ball, them three. The first touch is off. They didn't do anything, bro.
They're not going to do anything. We saw how Marmoush played at where was he from? Is it not Leverkusen? Where did Marmoush play?
Frankfurt. I think it was
Frankfurt, Eintracht Frankfurt. Right? He played in a front two. We have Nunes that can play wing back. We have Nuri that can play wing back. We can play 3-5-2. You understand? And if we're going to play 3-5-2, we have so many options. We can put Doku as a 10 because Doku has the ability to play 10. He has the touch. He has the dribbles. He can take the ball on a half turn. He doesn't lose the ball. We have so many options to rotate with the 3-5-2. But we don't want to use 3-5-2. Right? Because we tried it before with Mendy and Walker. It was mint. We haven't seen it since. Marmoush would try that.
You were talking about Ruben D. Who would you start in the final? Would you start John Stones and Kusanov then?
Right now we are between a rock and a hard place because if we start Stones has absolutely no pace and he has no game time except the last game that he played leading up to the final. So I would be.
He played against Newcastle in the cup and the FA Cup.
Yeah, but that's his only game. I don't want to. He doesn't have any game time like that to be thrusting him into a final. So we just have to bite the bullet. He's not available. I don't think we have much of a choice.
So
unfortunately,
you were saying in the final there'll be three names that's going to be on the team sheet.
But if we check it out, if we play John Stones, right? But then again, might as well play John Stones because if we're looking at it like this, we'll get better passing from Stones, and it's not like Diaz is any much quicker than Stones either. Because what Diaz does is that Diaz gets the ball and he takes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 touches. So, I guess we could risk John Stones because Nunes must be playing. Nunes has pace to cover him. And of course, Kusanov covers everybody. So, why not? At least we have somebody that we can get something from them. Proper passing out the back. Right? Yeah. So the ball gets to the attackers quicker. But then again, all of that is going to be negated with Bernardo Silva and Rodri because when it gets to them now, it's sideways and backward.
Do you think Bernardo's starting?
He is going to start. He got a red card versus he's well rested, and no matter how shit he plays, yes, and no matter how shit he plays on Sunday, he's going to play the full 90. So 2 players I'm sure are not coming off the pitch. I'd be surprised if they come off the pitch. That's Bernardo Silva and Rodri. They're going to play the entire 90 minutes. Yeah, so that leaves either Nico, O'Reilly, or Reinders. I'm not quite sure what the story is, Sonny. What I'm sure of is that those Diaz is playing, Rodri is playing, Bernardo is playing. So right there we're on the back foot right away because that midfield versus Arsenal, forget about it. Forget about it. Who are they going to go up against? Rice, Zubimendi, and who? Eze? Is Eze now playing in midfield? So they have 3 players that have legs.
I think
and can get power.
I have it because I think Eze got injured last game.
He did?
Maybe other guys coming back, but I don't know, bro.
But forget about Arsenal because too many times we set up our teams to try to be clever. What is it that's
not that good, bro? Bro, you can go out there if you put the right players on the pitch, we beat them.
Yeah, but the thing is,
is the manager gonna do that? That's a different story. It's easy saying it.
That is the thing, Adam. We couldn't beat Nottingham Forest. We couldn't beat West Ham. And somehow our fans thought that we would turn up at the Etihad and beat Real Madrid.
Hey, we could not even have beaten a fucking relegation side, fucking Spurs. The Spurs
And we
side
were
that
leading
probably,
2-0. We were
hey,
leading 2-0.
and
Spurs
that's the
made a
worst thing,
change.
Proper.
Mm.
We were 2-0 up against a relegation side, Spurs, that's potentially going to get fucking relegated. And we were
Do you know why we
2-0
look so
up.
good against Spurs? One reason why we look so good against Spurs was that Spurs had 2 midfielders in the first half. Yeah? And everybody looked good. Oh, it's vintage Bernardo and things are looking good. The minute they went 3-for-3, 3v3, everything switched around. And our manager, no response. We were being overrun, no response. Right? And he's not a man to make changes. The minute he said something last season versus Southampton when we drew 0-0, he said the first 5 minutes he knew that it wasn't going to work. He needed wingers. Xavier was fit. Doku was fit. Doku didn't come on until almost the 80th minute. And he sat there and said he knew that there was a problem from the 5th minute. 5 minutes in, and it's 70 plus minutes later he made a change. What is that telling you? It is not going to get any better. People believe that if we go and spend another 300, 400 million, it's going to get better. Let us say we get rid of Doku and Savio. Let us say we do that. And we bring in, what are the nice names everybody are talking about? Yildiz. Kvaratskhelia is not coming. Forget about that.
Rodrigo.
Just went to PSG. Rodrigo has an ACL, so he's not coming back until next year. So forget about those 2 names. But let's say Yildiz. I hear everybody speaking about Yildiz. So let us say we get
Olise.
Let us say we get Olise and Yildiz, right? Are they going to beat 1v3 and 1v4 sometimes every game? Are they going to be able to get into any position to do anything, any damage? Because if the tactics are not going to change, it is just swapping a dog for a monkey. Yeah? It is simple as that, swapping a dog for a monkey, because nothing is going to happen. If I'm going to still have my fullbacks sat in midfield, how is it going to help Olise and Yildiz? And these are the things that the fan base is not looking at, right? Am I saying that Pep can't change it? Absolutely not. Because we have seen him change it. So that is the other frustrating part of what is happening. We have seen him change it and do the right thing, quote unquote, the right thing, and get the players playing to their ability. And then he reverts to something that doesn't work. 3-1-6 or 3-2-5 or whatever madness it is should have never resurfaced at Manchester City for the next 1,000 years. But what does he do? We go to Manchester United, we go to Bodo Glimt, we get washed. We go to Real Madrid, switches up things again, we get washed. How is it possible that the coach is just all over the place? Everybody's saying sell Philip Walter Foden, sell Foden, Foden is rubbish and Foden is this and Foden is that. Foden has been at Manchester City 7 years. Right? Foden has been at City for 7 years, and nobody can tell me what is the position of Phil Foden. I could tell you what Iniesta did. I can tell you what Xavi did. I can tell you what Pirlo did. I can tell you what Zidane did. I can tell you what role Musiala plays. I can tell you what role Pavlovic plays. I can tell you what role Pedri plays. Bernal. All of these midfielders. I can tell you even the role that idiot Odegaard plays. You know why? Because he consistently plays it. Yeah? And to give you guys a great example, what position did Foden play when he scored the 19 goals and carried us to 4 in a row? In midfield, he was in midfield, yes?
Yeah.
He was in midfield, okay. So he goes to the Euro with the idiot Southgate. He played on either wing without the usual, without any fullbacks there, because Southgate is a forward. He had a horrible Euros. The one game that he played in midfield, he looked there and thereabouts. Horrible Euros. I am Foden thinking, all right, horrible Euros, they had me out on the wing, but certainly Pep Guardiola after what I have done the last season, being player of the season and all sort of things. PFA this, PFA that. 19 goals taking Manchester City to the title. Surely when I come back the following season, my manager is going to platform me by putting me in that position so I can continue to play, continue to grow, continue to get better. What happened that season, last season?
But 1 second.
Ford came back and went on the wings again.
No. When Foden came back from the Euros, do you think he came back with the right mentality? Because then let's not forget he was getting cooked.
Forget about getting cooked. If I am in a position, follow me, Matthias. If I'm in a position that is rubbish and everybody can see that it didn't make any sense, because I'm not going to get the support. So even if you put me on the wings, give me some support so I can at least come inside. I am out on the wings on my own.
No. What game was horrible when he came back? He was playing midfield, bro. He was playing
midfield for
KDB. When he came back.
When he just came back, Foden went straight to the wings. I'm not asking anybody. I know that and that is where I started the question. How in the hell can Pep see that the man is horrible out there and then you keep playing him there? Right now, Foden has two options. If Pep stays or extends, he needs to leave Manchester City because it's not going to make any sense. Because at no point he can play a state. If Foden is playing as an 8, play him as an 8 consistently. If he's rubbish at the 8, then we can all say, well, you had X amount of games as an 8 playing this particular role and you're rubbish. 10 this week, 8 next week.
He's rubbish in the 8s, bro. This season.
What was he playing up to December when he was doing well? What position?
Bro, even when he stopped scoring, he was continuing. Pep was trusting him to play, and we were Saturday and say, why Foden keep starting? Why Foden keep starting? He was.
No, I asked that question. Was he playing the same role because he was not playing the same role?
Bro,
was he playing the same role?
Bro, I've seen KDB changing his role at this in the last 8 years of Man City, but still performing, man.
That is KDB. How many players can do that?
Brother, it does not matter. When you play for Man
yes,
City,
it does matter. If it doesn't matter, that means the goalkeeper can play midfield and can play forward. It doesn't matter. That does not make any sense. Not every player can do that. When Pep Guardiola played De Bruyne as a DM in one of the games last season, didn't he do that? Another shocker. Played him as a DM. How did KDB look? KDB is not a DM. It's not going to work. So no matter how good KDB is, it is not going to work.
You're telling me Phil Foden's right now, the form that he's in is because of Pep?
He is all over the place. The man does not have a set.
Is it because of Pep?
Yes. What has happened to Phil Foden?
Come on, man.
It's because of Pep. You cannot, and that's what I'm saying. And what has happened to Semenyo is because of Pep as well. We are not platforming our players properly. You are going to tell me that we continue to play Semenyo as a 10.
Are you telling me that these players should not take any accountability whatsoever? It has to be the manager.
You cannot be playing me X, and then when X is not happening, then you want to point the finger at me. Bro, I am a strike. Look at Alvarez. I am blaming Pep for Alvarez. Yes. Look at Alvarez. But we have too many examples. Look at Alvarez. He was played as a 10. Isn't Alvarez a good player? He was shit in the 10. He was shit on the wings. Are you going to tell me that Alvarez is not a good player? The goals dried up. The goals dried up and he was shoehorned. Just like Foden.
Is Foden a creative player that you trust him to be the number 10?
He is creative enough
to be the number 10. Right. How many assists has he got to Haaland?
Is Haaland the only player that he can assist?
Okay, how many assists has he got to Doku? Because Doku has got 1 goal.
Assist to Doku. Doku is mostly out on the left side.
Right, okay. So you want him to be the main number 10. Yeah, he can't assist to his striker.
Who says he can't assist his striker?
Well, I don't think Foden is creative enough. Listen,
That is
he's very
that is
good
the
at what he
illusion.
does in terms
If
of
a man is playing
getting the
all,
pocket.
but if the man is all over the place, if he's all over the place, how are you going to get consistency from the man if he's all over the place? You tell
Because
me.
it's right. Listen, because the only reason I'm asking this question is because we are literally we play for Haaland in this team now. We play for Haaland. So when the midfielder has got the ball, right, they need to find their striker. Everything that this team does now, when he goes to Doku to put crosses in the box, everything leads to Haaland.
So if everything leads to Haaland, that means we are going to be in problems because what is going to happen?
We are already in problems, bro. We're
The
getting
the
massive
best
shit.
version of Manchester City, when Haaland just came in, he scored 60 odd goals or 50 odd goals in the season. Everywhere else was chipping in. So why is it all of a sudden now
Why do you
we
think
have
our
gone?
goals dried up? Yeah, since Haaland stopped scoring.
Because the team is not platform for several players to score, including when is the last time Bernardo Silva took a shot in anger? I remember Bernardo Silva used to pop up with goals here and there, or Roger used to pop up with goals, or midfield pop up with goals.
Yeah, well, he's watched.
Even recently, O'Reilly popped up with 2 goals. We do not have a consistency in how we play. Forwards, backwards, sideways, around the corner, U-shaped football.
Bernardo Silva is not that guy anymore.
But he was made into that guy. He's not that guy anymore because he has been changed into something else. We have a situation where if we don't, we need to open our eyes and see how are our players platform to perform. Everything is going through Haaland. We're going to have a game. Everything is going through Doku. No midfield, no right wing. Everything is left wing, going through Doku. We need a change of ideas. It's not working. It didn't work last season. It's not going to work this season. And if we try it again next season, it's going to be 3 seasons without a trophy because I keep using this game. I keep using this game as a reference.
Right. Foden didn't play on the wing in the first game, right? I'll tell you that midfield against Chelsea, that was the first game of the season. It was Kovacic in the DM because Roger was not available, and it was KDB and Foden in midfield. We played Savio on the right, Doku on the left, Haaland up front. That was Savio's debut. Remember when he was cooking? Doku on
and what about the rest of the games? And the rest of the games, did he play there?
He was playing in midfield, bro.
You gave me one game, Chelsea. What about the rest of the games?
Bernardo Silva played more that season, the last season. Bernardo Silva played more in the right wing than Foden. I can tell you that.
The game against Brentford, when Foden scored 2. Hold on. The game against Brentford, when Foden scored 2 goals, where did he play? Last season. We were 2-0 up. Because I remember Foden being subbed off early so that one of Pep's favorites, Gundogan, could come on the pitch to do nothing. The point is this, Matthias. We need to give a player consistency in a position. If he's consistently there and he's rubbish, then we can point fingers. Why did you think Alvarez left? Alvarez was hung out to dry. He ended up getting dropped from the team because guess what? Pep didn't want to put him beside Haaland, 2 second striker or whatever. He wanted him as a 10. And he can't play the 10. And it started to get to a stage where Alvarez was just looking horrible.
So you say that so it's a recruitment problem then?
It's a manager problem. We get in Alvarez, we know what he does. We're trying to do something else with him. He looks horrible. And then everybody's now complaining, oh, he is gone and he should have stayed. Alvarez did the right thing. Because if you're going to continue to put me, you're not going to play 4-4-2, you're not going to play 3-5-2 because it's not a part of your quote-unquote philosophy. Why should Alvarez stay here? Where it's a waste. Marmoush here is a waste. If we continue to play Semenyo as a 10, it is going to be another big waste of money because those are not the positions that they excel in. Yeah? Everybody's blaming Nico G at the Bernabeu. They forgot the first game. We were lucky because Nico G, outside of his
Right.
offensiveness,
Has
he
Foden
was
been
getting
playing on the wing
rain.
this season?
Huh?
Has Foden been playing on the wing this season?
This season,
Hmm.
I can't, let me see. No, he's been playing more as far, well, maybe a couple of games, but he has been playing more,
But
what,
even in
deeper
the cup games, he's been playing in the middle, right? But he's
as
still not
what?
performing.
The Bernardo Silva role. Listen, Foden
No,
has
no,
a
forget about
decision to make.
Bernardo. Forget about Bernardo because we all know Bernardo needs to go. Forget about Bernardo.
Foden has a decision to make. Either stay, either tell Pep, listen, you know my position that I excel in, play me there, or I am not signing a contract and I see greener pastures elsewhere, because this has been a total balls up of the player. And several other players are under the same pressure. Can you imagine playing Semenyo 5, 6, 7 more games as a number 10 and he is absolute rubbish? What does that do to the player's mentality? Yeah? O'Reilly should go nowhere near left back again. Use a backup left back from the academy. When Jasko comes back, he's a backup left back. We need to stop doing these things to the players. Nunes is at right back. Yeah? What position did Nunes play at Sporting? I think he was from Sporting and Wolves. He didn't play DM.
He plays as a number 8. On the Wolves, he was playing midfield wide because they were playing a different formation. Wolves was playing
But he didn't play as a DM.
No, not DM. No.
How many times have we played Matthias Nunes in his position that he excels in at Manchester City as a starter? Very few times. We did it in certain Champions League matches. Nunes looked good. But the minute we put him as a DM and start to expect him to perform as a DM, these cute little touches around here, there, and everywhere, it doesn't work. All of a sudden, he's an idiot footballer. He doesn't have any sense. Did you put him in his position? We're killing ourselves to get Elliot Anderson when we already have a player that can play that position. That is what I'm talking about. We're buying players and not giving them the platform. We got Matija Kovacic, who has a poor record at Chelsea in terms of injuries, always injured. We went and got Kovacic.
So he's friends with Vardio.
He's what?
He's friends with Vardio. So that's why
he's friends with Vardio. You see that? No, that is just madness. Madness to the maximum. All right, Gavardiol is another one. I remember when I'm watching Leipzig, Gavardiol played. Didn't he play the entire season as a centre back? Or am I missing something?
No, they were playing a back 3, and he was on the left side of the back 3.
But he's a centre back.
Yeah, but
he has come to City and he played about left back. Gavardiol is one of the worst left backs defensively you can find. This man doesn't challenge any attacker's first touch. And he always jockeys them into the box. He doesn't try and stop it at source. The minute we move him from left back to centre back, he's more solid defensively.
Do you think Maresca is going to solve that then? What if you get Maresca?
Maresca is a waste of time. He's no different he's just a poor man's version of Pep. The same stubbornness and folly without
why
the trophy.
Why do you think the club is after him?
That's a question for them. Familiarity, he knows the club. Right now, it's not about what he can do on the pitch. No, it's about what he knows the club. Maresca, if he comes in and he surprises me, I hold my hand up and say, well, he has gone against what I thought he would have done. No problem there. Glad to be wrong. But based on what I have seen at Chelsea, it is not going to be any different. It's the same experiments. Why can't we have a fullback that is a fullback? How many teams in the world? I see. The problem was the minute Fabian Delph got injured, not Fabian Delph, Mendy got injured, and we found a way to go around it by putting Fabian Delph as the left back
But
That is where the problem
do
started.
you think like I've got a massive concern with Maresca regarding Maresca, by the way. Big up Hussam for the rate, yeah. The thing is, when you were at Chelsea, right? I Chelsea doesn't have some sort of like big players. We've got some massive egos at this football club, right? Haaland's one of them. And probably you can include Chirkin in there and Ruben Diaz, Bernardo, Rodri. Well, not much so Bernardo, but Rodri, etc., etc. Right? Do you think that Maresca can, if things go south, do you think Maresca can control this squad? Because it's easier to control the likes of Madueke, Caicedo, like, do you know what I mean? These players, they've never won anything. But he's moving to a group of players where the main core has achieved a lot and they've got a massive ego. Do you think he's got what it takes to control this squad if things go south?
I don't think it's going to be a case of the players. I don't think we have those kind of players to, like what Chelsea had in the past, to just throw the manager under the bus, etc. So I don't think he'll encounter much of that. Much of the problems that I think he's going to encounter is tactical wise and system wise, because he's another person that wants to play a goalkeeper as a midfield and all of these madness. Right? The club needs to have a look and realize that, okay, Pep did certain things, we won trophies and things, but it has caught up to us now. Let us recognize that it has caught up to us and do the right thing. Let us go and get a right back, an actual right back. Yeah? And maybe we can start to utilize, in some games, we can utilize Matthias Nunes as an 8, box to box or whatever you want to do with him, as a midfielder. Yeah? Let us stop putting Nico O'Reilly at left back. Let us put the actual left back there. Yeah? When we get wingers, let us stop trying to shoehorn them into a number 10 position. Right now, the only wing at the club that can play number 10 because they have the technical ability to do so, and based on what I've seen, is Doku. Central Doku would be mint. He has the touch, he has the acceleration, he has everything. But you put Semenyo there instead. It doesn't make any sense. The problem with this,
it doesn't make sense,
Patrick,
man. You're right. Yeah, what's up?
Patrick, I hope everything is good with you. You're good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I just took painkillers. But I'm like, you're right about that, man. Most of his decisions are not making sense. I think that's what people should realize. You know, when you're analyzing football, we're talking about Pep Guardiola saying he has to move on. It's not coming from hate. It's what you can see as a fan. So far, we have seen madness. So far, you know yourself. If a player is coming from injury, like Rodri, why would you play him as a lone DM?
It is the same thing, but it is the same thing that caused him to get injured in the first place. We continued to pressure him. He was calling out for help. There needs to be another DM, and we ignored the call, and then we have an ACL. And we have sacrificed our season. Basically, the season has been sacrificed because we were under this illusion, at least some of the fan base were under the illusion that as soon as Rodri came back, we were just going to shoot for the stars. And when you bring out the statistics versus him and Nico G, instead of acknowledging that, because the stats are not wrong, you cannot dispute the stats. We are a better team, a better attacking team, a better winning team with Nico G. That is just facts. Rodri at this moment in time should be playing or should be used accordingly, right? If you're going to start him, 60 minutes, 70 minutes, take him off. At least some of the games.
I wouldn't even start him. I was watching somebody do an analysis. They said Pep Guardiola should have accepted this season that he cannot play alone DM. He should have played 2 DMs and had a number 10 and give the number 10 freedom. What do you think?
Right now, all right. I'm going to go back to the 4 in a row season, right? We were having the same issue. We were being rinsed in midfield. Everybody was slicing through us, right? At the time, Kovacic was fit. And I was saying, play a double pivot of Rodri and Kovacic so they can alternate. Rodri goes forward sometimes, and then depending on where the ball is,
I thought
then
he did
Kovacic
that.
goes forward.
He did that very well. He did do that.
But once we did that late in the season, because what was happening is that he was continuing to play Alvarez as a 10, and Alvarez's touch was poor, just like Semenyo. Everything, and Alvarez's confidence was just shot because the manager killed him, putting him in a position that he just could not play. The minute I look at Liverpool game, when Liverpool was running us ragged, he put on Kovacic and Doku, put Kovacic in midfield with Rodri, and put Doku on left wing. Liverpool had to back off. Why? Because Rodri started to get the help. Kovacic started to do things in midfield. Somebody who could take the ball and carry it past the opponent and have Liverpool running back, offering something outside a pass. Right? We're asking for the same thing now. All right, Rodri is fit. Bernardo Silva isn't quicker than Nico G. Nico G has experience playing as a number 8. So guess what? Forget about your pride and your stubbornness. It is about Manchester City Football Club. We are in a position where we can get multiple trophies because guess what? The team that we're facing isn't so good. They are scraping by. So let us put the bit between our team.
But now the trophies have been cut down.
Because the trophies has disappeared because the manager has decided to do something else apart from what was necessary. How can you justify going to the Bernabeu without your actual fullback and the fullback that is in form? Newness.
That was rubbish.
And then he's trying to tell us it is rubbish, but he's going to tell us, did Nico O'Reilly play left back? Yes, and he was having the same problems at the Bernabeu. That is how Rodrigo scored.
Do you know what's funny? Big up Mateus. Do you know what's funny? And Nori actually looked more comfortable against Valverde than Nico O'Reilly.
100%.
Do you know what that means?
Shocking.
Sometimes just play a natural player in his position. It's not rocket science.
It is unbelievable. And I told people the problem started with when Mendy got injured and he put in Fabian Delph at left back, and then all of a sudden,
how did the problem start in there when we went
there? Here's where the problem started there. We did not go and get an actual. Wait a man, we did not go and get an actual left back.
Bro,
what we did, we continued.
No. From the moment, wait, bro. But if the problem starting there, then I'd rather have that problem because since that moment we won 18 trophies, including 6 league titles.
You're not listening.
Give me that problem. No.
You're not listening
to him. Because what he's trying to say, when he did that, people called him a genius. So he thinks, I can do this.
You see, Mateus is missing the point. He did that with Fabian Delph, and because he has done that now, it means that I can take a player. I don't believe that I can take a player from anywhere and convert him into something else.
Well, he's done that
instead
with
of going and
play centre half.
Come again?
He done that with Mascherano. He played centre half and they won the treble.
What was Mascherano before? Was it a DM?
Yeah.
Yeah, so how hard is it for a DM to be a centre back? Because Yaya Toure was also a centre back for Pep and DM.
Like, we've seen that before, and if it works, then you have to congratulate them.
You're not following the argument. Yes, if it works, that is the thing.
If it doesn't work, right? If it doesn't work, he gets criticised, which is fair enough. But if it works, then listen, fair play to you, man.
But that is the thing. If it's not working, he is stubborn. Look how long it took us to get We knew that Walker was finished from the treble season. We could have had Nuno Mendes, the same Nuno Mendes everybody is talking about now, for 40 million pounds thereabouts.
Bro,
And we didn't get him.
no, it's easy to say it now, right now, because obviously we're not winning. But at the time when we were winning, brother,
But that is when he made the changes, Matthias. Isn't that what we were famed for? When we won, we did not sit on our laurels. We continue to improve. So bringing the new guy, Mendes, he's not going to start right away. He and Walker is there, and then Walker declines. You already have your Mendes there from the season before, and you put him in. It is simple
Can
like
somebody
that.
check?
bro, the thing is, right?
Can
The
somebody-
thing is, what you fail to understand is, right? You say go and get Mendy, but Walker is still your number one. If you're Mendy right now and you sat there, right? I can go to PSG and be the number one, play week in, week out, every game, every single competition.
left back.
Or I
He's a
can go
left
to
back,
Man
though.
City and be on the bench.
No,
Mendes
but
is a left
Matthias, we at that time there was no links to PSG. We had full run. We had full run at Nuno
Bro,
Mendes, and we
they
didn't
get
take
linked
it.
to everyone, bro.
Well, I can only go by
Bro,
what the news. I'm
even
not in.
right,
I'm not in.
even right.
We had a
Imagine,
run.
okay, fair enough. There was no links to PSG. Mendy comes in and he finds himself right. I'm on the bench first season because Kyle Walker is playing. Second season, Kyle Walker is still playing. What am I doing here? I'm gonna go.
But Mendes is a
So,
left back.
so you see what
Mendes is
happens
a left
now?
back.
It boils down to the manager now because because of sentiment, the ruthlessness is gone. So
But Mendes is a left
that
back.
is where it boils down to the manager. The ruthlessness is gone. Instead of replacing a player, I love my players. So now the club is in a problem. And that problem has continued from the treble until this day. Instead of moving forward ruthlessly, like what a big club does, we're at, Kyle Walker is the best right back we ever had. Yes, but he's playing shit now. Get him out. If you get him out a year early, it doesn't negate what he has done in the past. Kyle Walker left in January last season. He's still the best right back Manchester City has ever had. So what was the issue? The issue is the manager, and we allowed the manager, and everybody became complacent after the treble, and now we're reaping the whirlwind. We can't afford any more shortcuts. Now is the time. We need to get in right back. Who is a right back? A left back. If the man is a number 10, you play him as a 10. If he's a 8, you play him as a goddamn 8. And you keep it moving. The era of I'm going to convert Tom Strokes into this needs to leave with Pep. Yeah? When Pep leaves, that's where we leave the experiments of converting this and converting that. Because Maresca is going to come with his nonsense because we saw it at Chelsea. He's going to come with his nonsense now. And if nothing happens, if it doesn't work, he can't afford a 1 in 14 because he doesn't have any credit in the bank. Now is the time to get the players, platform them correctly, and get amongst it. Because right now, we're on a slippery slope, and if we continue on this track of madness, it's going to be, I can tell you, we're not, you have the confidence that we're going to beat Arsenal. Arsenal tail is up. They have won their Champions League tie. They're into the quarterfinals. They made some changes. They know how Manchester City play. Yeah? They are great at set pieces. We need to pass quickly to get around Arsenal defense. Are we going to pick a team to play vertically 1 and 2 touch in the final third? No, we're not going to do that. Arteta knows exactly what Pep is going to do. So he just sits there.
We're going to beat Arsenal. I think so.
Well, I have to see it for myself. I'll take it if it happens, but I am not. The reason being, I do not know what. Well, I'm lying. I know exactly what Pep is going to do. So it's just hoping against hope. Just like the Madrid games, you're hoping against hope. Because I just knew that he was going to play O'Reilly at left back.
What the fuck is TMV? What's TMV? What's TMV?
You were indirectly mentioned on the Mancuni way last night with Zaz Girl. Girl had to say she can't help who is she was
That's wild, man. The fan base are focused on each other and not focused on the real problems. You see this, Prophet? People are going on podcasts to mention each other's names instead of just talking about this football we've wasted. You know what's the funny thing, Prophet? Some things are unforgivable, you know. I sat down the other day. Some things are very unforgivable. I can't forgive Pep.
I'm the leader of the Rat Army, Ramza.
What the fuck is that? What's a rat army?
It's calm, bro. Don't worry, man. Don't worry.
Do you know what,
Listen,
Mateo?
we are not asking people to say you must be saying Pep out because we don't govern people's minds or thoughts.
No. I heard that from Kel. Even Kel said that these people think some people think you're a bad influence on me. I'm like, yo, what did I do? Do you know what I mean? I'm calm, man. Daniel, I've sent you the link on X, bro. Check them. Check your message, man.
But guys, I don't know how people forgive this. How can you ban Semenyo?
Yeah, man, I am, bro. I am. If you go, let me know. We're gonna link up, man. I'll be there. I booked the train ticket for there's one leave in Manchester, 12:55. Get there for 3:28. But I might get the one earlier to get there early on time because Sunday's trains are mad.
Go to the pub. To go to the pub. Wants to go to the pub.
No. You drink on the train. You don't need to go to the pub. Drinks are expensive in London, bro.
Yeah,
like £7 for a pint in Wembley.
Yeah, ask again. How can you forgive a man who bought Semenyo and play him as a number 10? I swear to God. Why?
He can play there. He told us.
Papa.
He also said that Reinders can play as a defensive midfielder out of his mind. Out of his mind.
You know what's funny? Mateus called it out. This man tried to make Reinders a DM and failed. He failed.
I told you. He told us in the Club World Cup he can play there. Remember in the Club World Cup when he was taking off Rodri, he was never bringing on Nico G. He was moving Reinders in the 10. Gundo was there, and then someone else. He was never bringing on Nico G. So that's why I said, right, this guy, he's planning to go into the season with Rodri to be his number 1. Kovacic because Kovacic was off injury. Kovacic when he's fit, he's going to be the number 2 in that DM. And then if Nico G is not playing, you might as well sell him. But Kovacic got injured, so
he tried Tijani, he failed.
Yeah,
it was always going to fail.
Oh, by the way,
it was doomed to fail.
I don't think Tijani is the issue. I think it's the manager where he plays him.
But again, I've been saying that. Where did he play at AC Milan and was successful? Just put him back there. It's not rocket science. But if we are going to continue to do this shtick, we just keep playing the players wherever we feel like. And when they don't perform, then, the players are shit. Yeah, the players are shit. He's not good enough. We need to buy world-class players. Who are the world-class players that we can go and get? And if we do get them, is the manager going to actually play them where they actually make sense? Nobody has any idea of what is going to happen. Nobody knows. That is the worst thing. Nobody knows. A player comes in. Maybe that's why we don't have words. We had the money to spend on words. But maybe Words is thinking, I am playing X and maybe Pep turns me into a defensive midfielder. I am not interested in that.
Yeah, but what if maybe, what did I about to say? We spent 60 on Tijani, 60 million. I just don't understand, man. This guy confuses me. You spend 60 on Tijani, and then the guy who plays his position is Bernardo Silva. The other issue is Silva in this team. That's the other issue. I think if Silva's not here, you see a lot of Tijani and Foden. But this guy, I saw the interview by Kyle Walker. He says this guy loves Silva so much. He loves him so much.
Do you know what I think?
But Bernardo Silva himself, that is where it sounds bad, but that is where I started to my mind just started to go against Silva because he did an interview saying that he was out of form. And I remember that season. I think it was a treble season. He was rubbish until the last part of the season. And I'm saying, why is Bernardo Silva continuing to play? And then he cleared up the question. He cleared up the question for me. What did he come out and say? Pep called him into the office and said, yes, he knows that he's out of form and he's not good, but he has to play. He wants him on the pitch. And I'm saying, how is it possible that, can you imagine I'm in training, I'm in better form, and then I see a man that is rubbish from many games, and then he has to start, and I am working hard in training, and I can't get a look in. I have to come out of position. And then people think that makes sense. There's no competition in City right now because we know that no matter what form certain players are in, they have to play.
Yeah, well,
right?
I get it, yeah, because some like every manager, they've got favorite players. Every manager of every team, but what baffles me is just the amount of game certain players play. Doesn't matter how rubbish they are in previous game, they just play. When you see other players, they come, they play they have one good game, they start having a stinker the following game, and the very next game they're on the bench. But when he's certain players, which at least I get it, it's the favorite, but if they're not doing the job, then they shouldn't be playing. And it doesn't matter whether he understands the tactics, he understands everything that I ask him to do. No. If he's not on form, they're not playing because at this right moment in time, Foden understand your tactics and understand what you want, but Foden is not getting any game time. We played a knockout stage against Real Madrid, and Foden didn't touch the pitch whatsoever. That's not acceptable, man. Come on, what are we doing here? If he's up form, yes, but at the same time, there are players there that have been up form, but you carry on playing them. Right? Ruben Diaz dropped a stink against Fulham. He played the next game. Kusanov nowhere to be seen. You were even bringing Nathan Nake as a sub, and Kusanov dead on the bench. That shows to me and the fans that you trust Nathan Nake and John Stones more than your best defender. Now this is the guy that is bailing you out and stopping transition. A foot race with you can put any player against Kusanov. There's no way Kusanov is losing that. So now he's the guy that's bailing you out at the back, but you did not trust him before. Do you know what I mean? Nico Gonzalez is the reason why we're in this title race. Nowhere to be seen. We've won 4 Premier League games out of 11 in 2026. 4 out of 11 in 2026. Nico Gonzalez nowhere to be seen in playing the Premier League. It's all well and good to give him a run of games in the FA Cup, but you only play in FA Cup once a month. Why is he not starting? Why is it Rodri, ever since Rodri came back? Why is he starting every game and every minute? Oh, this contract situation. No. The old players should not be starting every game to show that they will stay, they will renew their contract. Nico Gonzalez was actually playing really well, right? Because the moment you put Rodri in there, the whole style of play changed, and then players seems to struggle. When it was Nico J, we're playing fast football, one touch bang, one direct pass, and we were in the ascendance and we were scoring goals. But the moment you decide, right, I've got my favorite 2 midfielders, I'm going to control mode. Pass, put ourselves.
That was always
put
his
the balls
plan,
in the
though.
right areas and wait for crosses. It's boring. It feels like every team now, they know how we're going to attack. That's why you see Doku getting triple marked. And that's why you see they don't even press our midfield because they know, right? Let them have the ball. They're not going to create any sort of dangerous situation, right? They know none of the midfield we dare to shoot from outside the box. We used to shoot from outside the box, right? What happened in there? I'm seeing Ruben Diaz even attempt to shoot from outside the box, but none of our midfielders are doing. Since Kovacic last season, what's going on in that?
It's all by design and great show, but Prophet said something and it made me think. For an instance, Bayern Munich play with traditional fullbacks, and they have their set players in midfield by position. So do Real Madrid, so do PSG, so does Juventus. Most of the big clubs, a handful of them, even Atletico, they all play with players in their position. Barcelona, I know where Lamine Yamal is going to play more times than not,
100%.
even in his early career. We are the only club that recently, or not recently, over the last decade or so, has been playing players out of position, assuming that positions don't matter. You can live with it if you're getting away with it when you got the individual brilliance. But when that goes away, the positionless positions actually do matter. It comes back to roost. And when you take out the industry in midfield, Rodri was essentially doing a player or two's job in covering, in tackling, in dueling, that it had an impact on him from a fitness standpoint, and he got hurt. The limitations, or even how this side has been built, we're now seeing the long term implications on what it can actually have in the squad. I think they've tried to deal with it, but it's Mateos. It's almost like the end of a cycle. And I say that because then I go and look at Spain, the perfect template iteration of the tiki taka phase of football, the positionless, the interchangeability. And they don't even do that anymore. They
Hmm.
have their set fullbacks, the left back, the right back, the six, the eight. If Rodri's out, they put in Zubimendi. The wingers are still Spanish wingers, but there's a directness in their play, the ball striking. The only club that has not taken that next progression has been us.
Bro, even Barcelona, right? They were playing this tiki taka for quite a while. They realized, brother, this is not working. They were getting absolute hammered in the Champions League, humiliated in the first stage, even group stages as well, to a point where they were like, nah, forget this. Let's get a German manager who can play attacking football in direct and see where we are. And they had to change the complete, like, their philosophy, which was 100 passes. They completely changed that. But now we are in the same situation where we find a way that can get the best out of these players. In the first half of the season, we're winning games, we're playing well, albeit there wasn't so much control. We were getting a bit overrun in midfield, but that was a problem where we could have solved with one player, one either putting Nico Ryan in there or Nunes, and then just carry on play the same way as you want.
Mateos, let me
Then
just give
he
you.
was like, right, I've got Rodri now. I'm going to change the whole thing. I'm going to change the whole attack because Doc was not there. I'm going to change the whole approach because I've got Semenyo now. And it just, everything started looking complete mess. We're struggling to score goals. We're struggling to break low blocks team, right? And we're struggling to defend.
Mateos, just let me give you an example of, because you spoke about the egos earlier and the accommodation of some players, but inaccommodation of some. Mbappe is a world class athlete and a world class player. But PSG, even at some point, understood that we cannot win unless Mbappe is willing to sacrifice or move a different way with the pressing for the betterment of the team. You can only have so many passengers. PSG had a side that had Mbappe, listen to this. Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi, and ultimately got to a point and said, we have to get rid of all three. We have to move on from all three. The wages don't make sense. The egos don't make sense. And no matter how brilliant they are moving forward, when we go to Europe against the bigger sides that have balance, if these three are not willing to defend, they have to go. So I'm asking myself the question, how is it that a PSG side with three legends, three bona fide world class players, they can get to that point where they say, you know what, Mbappe is our crown and jewel. We're kicking and screaming on not letting him go, but we ultimately realize he wants to leave. We have to let him go. Messi, great player, even in decline, we have to let him go. Neymar, great player, even in his decline and brilliance, we have to let him go. Rodri came back from the injury, and we've tried to accommodate Rodri, thinking that it was going to be 2023 Rodri. Do you know how crazy that is? It's 3 years later. The game has moved on. 3 years later. He's not the
Bro,
same
Rodri
player
was
he
out for
was
a year, an
3 years.
entire
His
year.
his tendons don't move the same as they were 3 years. If you've ever played basketball or even football, okay, when you're 19, I'm closer to 40, Mateus, and I just doxed my age. When you're 19 and you're playing pickup ball, football or basketball, and then when you're close to 40 and you try and play pickup ball, I'm going to tell you right now, there's moves that you think you can do, but when you try to do them, your body quickly tells you, oh, nope, not today, because if you try and do, you may injure yourself. Now imagine coming back from a serious injury like an ACL and still thinking that the manager wants you to do the same thing and you thinking you can still do the same thing. You're going to either hurt yourself or you're actually going to hurt your team. And now there's the threat of him leaving. These are questions that the club have to make. And this is where Kels was right, and I think it was taken out of context. The club is going to have to make some very hard decisions to get the balance right. You're going to actually need fullbacks, a left back and an actual right back. PSG have athletes that are technical. So it tells me you can find both. Bayern Munich have a left back in Alfonso Davies. Granted, may not defend to the same way, but still, athletically and technical. You can find those players. Stop trying to find unicorns. Find the players that give you actual balance. It's going to be tough decisions. Guys that we don't want to let go, you may have to let them go. Guys that are world class right now, if they're unable to drop the ego, the flexibility, or even stop doing their eat, pray, love, ultimately you may have to sit those players down and have a hard decision and say, you may not be for the future, no matter what you did in the past. Because, like Prophet said, even if you move on, it still will not negate the fact that you were a legend and you did something for us in the past. It's what's the best thing for the club. On the Maresca side, I don't even understand why he's the first option. It has to only be Pep. And if so, if the game is progressing on, I would not
Is
be
it the
trying to
right
go
guy
from that.
though? Because the only
Huh?
thing I'm thinking of with Maresca is because first and foremost, he was at the club for 2 years. His first year, he was managing the under 21s and the under 18s, whatever, and he knows the academy, so he knows some of the players in that academy. Well, he used to know the likes of Cole Palmer, um, Leon Delap, Lavia, what's up, whatnot. Probably the club is looking to right. We need someone in here that can also start integrating the academy as well as the new signings. And the second is he knows some of the players he's working on. He's working with them, but at the same time, when I look more into all these things are nice. Don't get me wrong, but when I look at the football side of it, which is the things on the pitch, it's not for me. He plays players out position. He makes the wrong decision, and he makes the wrong subs as well. Even Chelsea fans would tell you that. So that's pretty much just Pep Guardiola. And the thing with Pep Guardiola, whether we like it or not, some of you like it or not, Pep Guardiola is a winner, and he had a proven he's had a proven
Mateus,
track
I will
record in
go
previous club.
I'll go one ladder step, and this is what I always use when I'm trying to convince myself of Maresca. He's done two things twice now. He did it at a lower level, and he did it at whether Chelsea are a big club or not, at the big six level. When he got promoted with that,
But Maresca, would you rate Maresca at Chelsea though? I mean, he won a trophy. Don't get me wrong.
he won a trophy, but just hear me out. I'm taking the trophy aside. I'm looking at the coach. When he got promoted with Leicester City, and he then had an opportunity to jump to a big side, he did. You were an unknown manager that had just recently failed at Parma, was rehabbed with back at City with Pep Guardiola. You then got the opportunity with Leicester. You had success and you scraped it by getting the promotion because they were floundering towards the tail end of the season. And then you get into the Prem, and the minute you get the call from Chelsea, you leave. You abandoned that project. You go to Chelsea. You win a trophy. You're quote unquote building something. There's always going to be tensions with the ownership. But the minute you can leave because you hear whispers of a Pep Guardiola potentially leaving and you being the ideal replacement, you leave. I don't want managers, Italian managers specifically, one, that talk too much, leak to the press, but then two, have shown me in two instances that if the situation is not right or if something more ideal comes to the table, he will leave. I don't want that. What's helped us with Pep Guardiola has been stable. And Pep Guardiola does not talk, or in his earlier years in the decade, he did not talk the way that he did. Even Pellegrini, the two managers that did, was Mancini. He talked a little bit too much and caused a lot of tension in the back room. And now, in this instance, with the two samples that I've seen with Maresca, I don't want that because, like you said, this
But
squad
do you know
has
what happened with
ego.
Mancini? Right, Mancini lost the dressing room.
Correct. So if you're Maresca,
that's why he had to go. Listen, we were there, and I was sad when Mancini left. But at the same time, I understood that he lost his dressing room. Like half of them
brother,
players didn't want to play for him.
if Maresca comes in and let's say decides to do some crazy thing, and he benches Diaz, what happened? Oh, he benches Diaz. He benches, let's say, Haaland for whatever game, and I've been told that Haaland can't be benched, right? Let's just say he does that, and it backfires. The other
Because he
guys,
will. Do you know why? Because our first instinct was he would probably say, "Oh, look at me, I make tough decisions. I'm top now." But if it backfires, then brother,
it'll cause tension because he doesn't have credit in the bank to do that.
no, he
I don't care
doesn't.
if he's brought in with the approval of Pep Guardiola. If he doesn't have the credit in the bank to do that, you better win, number one. But it's going to be harder to win because this side is in transition and they're inconsistent, which means you're going to do some things and it's probably going to cost you, and you're going to lose some of these guys, which then becomes a question of if the players say we don't believe in this guy, now you're right back at square one. And I like company.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's
bro.
ready right now.
The thing with Pep, even Pep in his first season, he came in and he started making tough decisions. Like he told Joy Hart he can go, and he even benched Aguero for a number of games. But the reason why, not even the fan base or even the club said anything is because Pep had credit in the bank. Even the squad at the time probably just right. Okay, we just need to keep quiet in here. This guy is a proven winner. He won every club that he's been to, so and the club trusts him. So it doesn't matter. Every decision the club backed Pep, and even the fan base to an extent. But with Maresca, it's different. I mean, if he start doing something that doesn't make any sense, right? Either he's because the fact he's walking to a job where he already got a divided fan base. Some of them, half of us doesn't want him, and half of the fan base wants him. So there's already the division in the fan base. When Pep walked into the job, we were all on board. We were like, right, this is the guy, Do you know what I mean? This is the guy that will take us to the promised land, winners of the Champions League. Right? Maresca doesn't have that. Right now, I don't want him, and so many other fans in the fan base. Those who want it, right, let's give him in time. Even those who want him say, let's give him in time. But the moment they start saying things they don't like, they say, no, this guy's not good enough. Do you know what I mean? Because listen, it's all well and good winning the Club World Cup at Chelsea, and then he lost. But let's face it, he lost the board because he was having a dig at the board in the press conference, and he was making some mad decision and on the pitch.
But it was good enough then. But it was good enough then. It's good enough.
There you go. That's the question. So
you see, that's the thing. It's gonna be hard. Like, Kao, are you here? Is Kao here? Or is he just listening? Yeah, it's going to be difficult for whoever comes in, because even Daniel says he doesn't think company is ready. So I don't know.
It's not, Patrick, and just even looking at Maresca, right? Looking at all the Pep's assistants, the ones that have even coached in the academy, that under-21 team was very stacked, and once that core group of players either were promoted to the first team or just left City overall, there was a drop off. So how much of it was Maresca winning? How much of it was that core group of young players that he had there? Because the current guy in the under 21s is not having the same success. The under 18 coach is more highly regarded than the under 21 coach. Granted, the current group of players in the under 21 may not be as good as some of the previous years or even the players that are younger than him. So I'm asking myself, is he better than Arteta as Pep's assistant? I don't think so. Maybe, maybe not. Arteta took 7 years with time to go to an Arsenal situation to build himself up to where he is. Maresca took a different route. Does that mean they're the same tactical genius? I don't know. But to me, Arteta screams calm. Arteta has never ruffled the feathers of the ownership, even when the ownership hasn't fully backed him all the way. Maresca has. So if I'm going with calm and stability, I'm going with the guy whose lips are shut. Not with the guy that the minute he doesn't get the toys that he wants because he thinks he's closer to contending with everybody else, now he's going to ruffle the feathers. It's like you need to know who your ownership is. And if your ownership is somebody that's going to give you the same pushback in the press, don't go giving them pushback in, because what they're going to do is they're probably going to push you out, which is what they did. So then why should City be the landing spot in a situation where, frankly speaking, he should still be at Chelsea. He's no better. He's probably better than Rossini or the school teacher that they brought in. So why did you leave that situation? Even if you got Europa League, let's just say, they were still going to back him going into the summer to try and improve that squad, even with all the inconsistency and logjams that they had. They were still going to back him.
Yeah,
So,
and the thing is, when you're a manager, especially if Maresca comes in, he needs to sell us a story because every manager does, right? And the story that he was selling to Chelsea fans was, well, it's a process. We need to start building. Right? We need to start having different phases in project and whatnot. Right? A Man City, you don't have that. The reason one is the culture is set, the standards are set, right? Because Arteta and him and Arteta had to set up the standards and they changed the culture of the club, get the fans on board, and they get fans all together. All this crap they do, right? Everything a Man City is done. The culture is there, the facilities there, the standards are there. All right. So all you have to come in, is make this team perform and start winning. Not these phases. Oh my God, we just here. It's a phase. Let's finish it fourth. Or then next season we're gonna finish second. And we're progressing. No. Right. When you come in, there has to be a style of play implemented. Good football, attacking football, right? And see where we are. Obviously, we were not going to expect trophies every season, But if you start showing the fan base that there is an identity in your team and there's a way of playing, yeah, you might come short in some certain competition, right? But at least there's something in there that the fan base can say, right, okay, I like this. All right, let's go into the next summer. Let's buy 1 or 2 pieces, put in there and there, and let's go for the title. All right, because this is the guy that's Chelsea has spent 250 million. He sat in the press conference. He was sitting 3 points off Liverpool, right? And he was asked, "Are you in the title race?" He said, "No." What do you mean you're not? You're 3 points behind. Do you know what I mean? If you do the same at Man City, let's say with 3 points right now, with 3 points behind Arsenal, and the journalists in the press conference ask you, well, would you make of the title race? And you say, no, we're not in the title race. Man City fans will start rinsing to pieces. Do you know what I mean? What do you mean you're not in the title race? You're 3 points behind the leader. It's mad, man. I don't want him. Honestly, I don't want him. I just don't think he's good enough. Because if he was, he probably would get a job by now. The fact that no one's even looking at him just says a lot. But yeah, is Carl there or Proper?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. But anyway, we're discussing about Maresca, bro, because this has been coming from quite a few months now. Do you know what I mean? And to the fact that Fabrizio keep recycling, it just shows
Everybody in their right minds know that there's no way in hell you are going to hire Maresca. Just by what you see on the pitch versus Chelsea, no way. It's the same thing. Pass. It's annoying. Why would you want, it is not working at City, no. Why would you want to get a manager to come back with that?
and
Fullback inverted again.
The
It's a
players
waste
that
of
drop
time.
the stinkers, and he keeps them on the pitch. He plays them every single week.
Listen, get a proper manager. At the very least, if we're not winning trophies, we must have a style of football that gets the fans into the stadium. Right? The pass thing is dead. Why would you want to go back to that? Right? Pepper's gotten Wengerized, so we can understand. It's been there long, sentiment and whatever has compromised his ruthlessness. All right, it does happen. He's not the first or the last manager, but he needs to move on. It is not a case of it seems the cycle is over. It is finished. Accept it. We're looking to the future. There is no way in hell you're going to go look sideways now to the man that is a poor carbon copy of Pep to come and do the same thing. You cannot be looking at... Right now, I'd rather give Deserbi or Cesc Fabregas a chance than give Maresca a chance at the club. We already know what he's going to do. There are some things that are just written in stone. The writing is on the wall. You already know what is going to happen. If Pep does X and Y, we're going to lose. If you see City playing sideways and backwards, they're not going to create much chances. We have precedent, so every time it comes up, you actually know what the outcome is going to be. So why is it that we are seeing things with Maresca at Chelsea with our own eyes and then think that he's going to come to Manchester City? The chances of him doing anything other than what we have seen him done before is minimum, right? Luis Enrique doesn't spend more than 3 or 4 years thereabouts at a club. You don't expect him to.
Hey guys, how are you?
Heal. Yeah, but we're hearing you loud and clear. So Maresca is just a sideways, matter of fact, not even sideways. Maresca is a backwards move. Get a progressive coach.
Who is Prophet?
Yeah.
Who's spreading that fake news about Maresca?
Sorry, I didn't get that. Hello?
I think it's Fab. Fabrizio.
Let me rejoin.
What did he say he's going to do?
Rejoin. He's going to rejoin.
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we're
Yeah, we
hearing you
can.
loud and clear.
Yeah, who's spreading the fake news about Maresca?
That's what we're seeing, and I'm not quite sure how on God's green earth the club, people in the club could be thinking of bringing in Enzo Maresca at this moment. Not even at this moment in time, at any point in time, past, present, or future. I am not quite sure what in God's name is happening. It cannot be true. I hope it's not true because it is just showing you that the club is going down the Manchester United path. Yeah. If we choose Maresca because it's going to be downhill. That's what it seems like to me. We're trying to go down the Manchester United path. Why would you bring in Maresca? If you're going to bring Maresca, might as well take a chance with Fabregas or Deserve. I don't understand that, but it's not a lie. Deserve plays good football and he has been doing it with limited resources. So maybe if he comes in with resources, we can get a good 2.5 seasons out of him before we get to company. So that's what I'm thinking. A stopgap in between. But to have Maresca, and we have witnessed what he's about, especially play style and all. What is the convincing argument outside of he knows the CFA guys and he was under this and under that coach?
Bro, he doesn't take any sort of risk, right? I remember when Chelsea played Man United, I think they were 2-1 up, and they even with 10 men, they look very comfortable, and he was playing at the time. He was playing 3 at the back, right? He decided to take I think he decided to take one of the attackers who was causing Man United problem to put another defender, even though he didn't need to do that because he already had 2 defensive-minded midfielder in Enzo and what was the other guy, the Colombian guy, no Colombian, Venezuelan guy, Caicedo, and he had 2 centre halves. He had Reece James, he had the guy, the Spanish fella with the big hair. So he had everything settled. Right, he had all the players that he need to get the results against Man United, even with 10 men. What did he do? He just become it's too negative. Right, I'm gonna take another attacker, put another defender. He actually took 2 attackers to bring on 2 defenders, and he removed Rich James. Brother, it's Man United, the 17th in the table. He's got his mentality. Yeah, is just not right for this club, and I don't want that. Sorry, I'd rather just get Pep. Honestly, I'm at that point where if you're telling me the option is Maresca, now man, get Pep for another season, and then if you feel like you need to bring someone who knows the club inside out, then you can go out there and buy company off his contract, pay his compensation to Bayern Munich, buy him off his contract. You know what I mean? Nah, this Maresca guy is not for me, bro. It's just not good enough, man.
Cow, is your mic working, Cow?
I'm here, Patrick. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I warned everybody last June with Al Hilal. Yeah. The Champions League game was lost in the first leg, within the first half of that game. And he knew it. He knew what he did. He knew sheepishly, he knew that he made some catastrophic mistakes and killed that game. He knew it. But then, okay, did you learn from that? You go to West Ham and you're bench again. You draw 1-1. So within the span of a week, 2 weeks, your Champions League, your Premier League race is over. And the Sunday, if you do the same thing again, Carabao Cup is done. And then Liverpool will knock you out of the FA Cup. Where do you stand? And don't tell me he doesn't have the players. So people talk about, oh, he's got these players that horrible. No. You give Michael Carrick the same players and see what he does. You give Abaloa the same players and see what he does. Give him the same players. Give him Shirky and Marmoush and Kusanov and Gonzalez and Rodri and Nori and Semenyo and Doku. Right? Give them that players. Give it to them. Let's see what they do. Let's see what they do. They have less players and have done more in the short spell that they've had. So overthinking has overcooked us. That's what's happened. Overthinking has overcooked us. Play players in their position. It's not hard. They
Do you not
grew
think
up
we can
playing the
beat Arsenal?
position. A fullback wants to be a fullback. A number 6 wants to be a number 6. Number 9 wants to be a 9. Right wing wants to be a right winger. 11 wants to be an 11. They know what they grew up with. Don't try and play a Semenyo, who is literally a 9/7 as a number 10. It's not a number 10. He's not. And then Sheki's on the bench. Who is the number 10? But you say you want to have control, that they can't give you control. What are you talking about? Are you telling me PSG don't control games? The Real Madrid game, who was in control? You think we were in control? No, they were in control.
The away game.
They were in control. They controlled you. Doku 2v1 all the time, no overlap, controlling him. So
the control works both ways, right? In my opinion, right, you can, just because you have more of the ball doesn't mean you're in control of the game.
You're being controlled. You're being controlled.
At the same time, right, well, you can face opposition that are very, very well set on the pitch. It make it difficult for you to break them down. But as soon as they win the ball, it's just one counter, bang, they 1-0 up. But they are in control of the game because they neutralize all your threats and you can't break them down. You just have more of the ball, but you're not controlling the game.
Absolutely.
That's what we're facing right now, right? Against West Ham were very disciplined off the ball, even against Forest. Forest had the better chances. It was probably 50-50, right? But Forest, they knew, right? This lot, they won't break us down. Let's stay very, very disciplined, very compact off the ball. But as soon as we win the ball back, bang, one counter, we are in. And that's what happened against Real Madrid. Against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, we had more of the ball, but we were 3-0 down at half time. You were not controlling the game. You had more of the ball. Doesn't mean you were controlling the game. The team that's controlling the game are the ones that is making difficult for you to break them down. They're very disciplined, and when they have the ball, they've got one purpose only, which is to attack and score.
Yep.
When we have the ball, our purpose is to move the position to one side, move the opposition to the other side. If you find any spaces, then we can attack those spaces. But the opposition is just very disciplined on the pitch. They know you're going to do that. That's why when you move it to the left, they put more butts in the left. When you move to the right, they move everyone to the right. Because they know you're going to overcommit. You're going to push a lot of players up forward, but they know, right, leave one up top. As soon as we win the ball, right, even that with our press is shocking, right? Look at that goal from Valverde. They knew, right, this guy is going to start pressing one man to man. All we need to do is, right, one ball over the top. If they fail to win the draws, we're in. And that's what happened, bro.
You know what they did, my guy, is go watch that game again. They said, okay, we're not going to worry about you in the middle. We're going to use Valverde and Vinny high and wide, in the wide areas. Force you inside, you're going to lose the ball. And with one ball, we're going to play all the way throughout and have you 1v1. That's what they did, because we know you're going to play a high line at the Bernabeu.
Yeah.
We know you're going to do it. You can't resist. You're going to play that high line. We're going to expose you in transition in your exact place of strength. We're going to turn your strength into a weakness. And that's what they did, 3-0.
But the thing is, yeah, what I don't get is, you decide, right, let's go pressing when you've got a forward line that can't press for shit.
Why are you, Mateus, going to the Bernabeu in the first leg and trying to play Haaland at Madrid.
And go all full attacking. You've got a second leg at home.
What?
You don't
Why?
even need to win that game.
Why?
We
You went there.
remember in the treble
You went
season,
there in
right?
December, right?
Remember
You
in the
played.
treble season, right? We went out there, they scored the first, we equalised, and the rest of the game we were just managing the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were like, right, let's get out here with 1-1 and let's slap them at home. But instead of doing the same, right? Savio, my son, you had a great game against Newcastle. I'm gonna play you. I'm gonna play all my wingers in that. Let's just go full attack. Let's just smash them. You forget you play Real Madrid in the Champions League and knockout stage, mate. Doesn't matter how poor they are, they understand that competition.
Yeah.
And they understand even the opposition better than anyone because we've been playing them for years.
Yeah.
And that's, people were like, "Oh, we're gonna knock out Real Madrid. I'll come back." I said it. Real Madrid is gonna win is gonna win the game at home because Real Madrid is the team, right, that hasn't lost the last 3 games in the knockout stage at the Etihad. They won it all them 3. They won the 3-2. No, they won the 1-1 penalty shootouts. They won 3-2 last season, and they won 2-1 this season. And they won all the home games. We've never come back from a Champions League tie, ever.
Yeah.
Right? But you decide to throw the whole tie in the away game because you were sold out by this by the Newcastle game. Newcastle got slapped by Barcelona. Newcastle shit.
Yeah.
You can't get sold you can't say Savio, you played well against Newcastle, you play against Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, Nico Gonzalez played well against Newcastle. Why didn't he start then? And Savio, the fact that instead of you admitting you got it wrong, you sat in a press conference and say, "Oh, did you see what Savio done against Newcastle? He played really well, right? Yeah. So I got it wrong. No. Right. If you were so adamant that you didn't make any mistake on the lineup, why did you take Savio for halftime?
Yeah, because he knew
when
he
you make
messed
it
up.
halftime subs is when you realize, right, I fucked it up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's mad. And to have a proper number 10 on a bench and ask one winger to play number 10.
That's crazy. It's just
no fullbacks.
I don't. It's
the biggest knockout stage. You decide, right? I have never really played this back line before. Well, there is always a first time for. He's not even playing in a cup game against lower teams. I'm gonna play this back line, right? We never played together. We never played. Pardon me. We never played O'Reilly, Diaz, Gehi, and Kusanov in the back line all at the same time once. But we decided, right, the back line that is working, I'm not gonna use it. I'm gonna just build a new back line and go with it. There was no understanding, and then 4 players on the pitch. None of them. That's why, brother. That's why back 4 you don't chop and change it because you need the same back line most of the games so they can build the chemistry. They will understand if that players jump, then I need to make sure I'm covering for them.
Yeah.
That's what we did in the treble season.
Yeah.
But ever since then, it chop changes every time. Like from that Real Madrid game up until the Tuesday, we've played four games. We played Real Madrid. We played Forest, Real Madrid, West Ham, and Real Madrid again. Right? We played 4 complete different backline. 4, all of them 4 games, 4 different backlines. 1 minute is Gehi and Diaz. Next minute is Diaz and Kusanov. Next minute is Kusanov and Diaz and Gehi. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no state. Right. People want the reason why Arsenal,
you won there before with that squad. Go back with the same squad.
It
I mean,
wasn't the reason why people praises all this Arsenal back line is because they keep the same core. They don't change it. Like, Saliba and Diaz, Saliba and Gabriel,
Tinkerman.
they make mistakes in games, but you know what? One understand the other. That's why they cover each other stinkers. But ours, it just changes every game. Once a new toys arrive, right, that new toy starts every game.
Yeah.
It's mental.
Yeah. It's where we are, mate. What are you gonna do?
Because at the same time, right, we're going to a cup final. We know Arsenal back four, right? But we don't know our back four. How is that possible? It's nearly April.
Tinkerman. Good tinker.
We know Arsenal's midfield, but we don't know our midfield.
He's got too many toys. That's why.
Too many toys.
No, it's not about having too many. You can have different options, but you can't come in a press conference and say, "I'm still figuring it out," brother. It's the end of the season, brother. If you haven't figured out up until now, then you won't be able to figure out then.
I think the problem, I think what's keeping him, what's giving him nightmares is the fact that when you play Erling Haaland, the problem you have, why he gets you the goals, is that he doesn't press well enough. And so all of a sudden, in the middle of the field, where you're most vulnerable, you have one less player. Which is why he plays Semenyo inside to make sure he has the legs to cover for Erling Haaland. So while Haaland has been the asset that's gotten us the goals, when De Bruyne was here, De Bruyne was doing mad things on and off the ball in the middle, floating around, not classic number 10, delivering balls, transition, short passing, all those things, which allowed Haaland to flourish. Once De Bruyne is not there, or Foden is not on form, and you don't play Shirky, then you have a creativity problem. So now Erling's asset now becomes a liability because he doesn't press. He can't press.
The thing is, we have seen too many patterns, right? And against different oppositions, and we are not dealing with it. Man United away played the same as Bodo Glimt. Bodo Glimt played the same as Real Madrid. All these teams, yeah, they play the same. Even Forest overload the wide areas, right? Because they're not going to defend that and put enough crosses in the box, right? And just hit them on the break, right? Leverkusen at home should have been. You should have realized that. Why is it our team, yeah, struggling to defend transition? Why is it our press? It's one of the worst press I've ever seen. I was pressing the game. Any team pressing. Our press from front line to midfield is a shambles, embarrassing to say the least. Right? We've seen that problems in the first half of the season. How is that possible that you have not identified the problems in the first half of the season, that the problems carry on this half of the season and it just got worse? We got one player injured, which is Josko Vardio. One. But Josko Vardio was replaced in January. They got in another defender for you. Do you know what I mean? You can all well and top players are good and not good enough. Yes, I agree. Certain players are not good enough. However, you still have to build a platform that gets the best out of the players that are good enough. Who are the players that are good enough in this squad that are actually performing? Everyone is seems to struggle. Every single one of them. So tell me who are the players that are good enough in this team that are currently performing.
Yeah, but
we have. Sorry, Patrick, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
The players are good. The many majority.
No, I agree. Don't get me wrong.
The problem is you tinker and you move players out of position and play, and other teams have found you out. They know you're not gonna have anybody overlapping Doku, so they play 2v1, force them inside, congest the middle. How is Real Madrid playing a low block against us? Real Madrid
At home at the Bernabeu.
at home at the Bernabeu. Because they know you're going to do that, and they're going to play you in transition because they got Vinny and Valverde.
It should have been the other way around. We are the away team. We don't need to attack you on your ground. You need to come at us, and we hit you on the break. But no, right. We know, Albert was like, no, don't worry. They're going to attack us, and we hit them on the break.
Yeah. West Ham, one break, one shot, one goal. And I can guarantee you, Arsenal this weekend, same thing.
Yeah.
Low to mid block.
Do you think Arsenal's going to set up in the final? Do you think they're going to come out all pressing?
No, they don't need to. They don't need to. Get Martinelli, Saka, run them ragged, play in transition, block the middle, hit them on the break. It's Wembley. It's a big field.
So many things, man. There's so many things going wrong, man. I don't know, man. It's just, where do we go from here, bro?
We just watch and see, mate. And then at the end of the day, let them decide what they're going to do. That's what's the bottom line. There's nothing we can do or control. It's out of our control.
Because we've got 2 big games to salvage our season. Well, I'm not even calling the Liverpool game as a big game because it's only the quarterfinals.
It is now though because we don't have much.
Yeah, because if we go on Sunday and don't win that game, brother, that's gonna be mentally this squad will be in some shit. Because in a space of a week, or even in the space of 2 weeks, you drew the Forest.
You collapsed.
Gave Arsenal 7 points lead. You lost 3-0 at Bernabeu. You drew to West Ham, gave Arsenal 9 points lead. Then you go into the cup final and don't win. The season done in like 4-5 games. After what we've done in the summer and January. And in the first half of the season,
it's a lot of money.
We were all optimistic in the first half of the season. Since the start of 2026, we start the year pretty badly. Sunderland draw. Chelsea at home without a manager, draw. Brighton, draw.
Spurs.
We go into Spurs, another draw. We beat Fulham and Wolves, fair enough. We beat Galatasaray, we beat Newcastle. Then we went into Spurs, 2-0 up at half time. Can't see out the game, can't win the game. All right.
It's unforgivable.
It's not even like Arsenal is being that good. They went to Brentford, they drew the game. They went to Wolves, they drew the game. What did we do? Let's go to Forest. Let's accommodate Forest at home. Let's draw the game. Let's go to West Ham. Both teams fight relegation. Let's draw the game. Real Madrid, all the PR. Oh my God! If this player, they get a yellow card, they'll be suspended for the second leg. They don't have Mbappe, Rodriguez out, yada yada yada. Right? None of them players got a yellow card. They still slap us.
But Madrid had 5 injuries of players they could have used, and we still failed. Another thing.
Half of the
So,
squad.
let me ask Carl a question. Carl, what do we do about this Bernardo Silva? Because I think Bernardo Silva is a good player, but he's the one who's holding the position for Foden and Tijani Reinders.
Bernardo has a role to play. The problem is that, unfortunately, he's the one who starts all the games. It's not on Bernardo. It's on the person who starts him all the games. That's simple. Modric had a role to play at Real Madrid for a long time, but he never started all the games in his latter years. Never did.
Because I think Nico O'Reilly is the better option.
No, listen. I think Bernardo still has a role to play this season, But I'm not expecting Bernardo. I didn't expect Bernardo to start every single game.
No.
The guy can't run. You've like, who would start Bernardo against West Ham when you know that you're playing against a lower block team? You would start players that crash into the box and players that are creative. Who would start Bernardo against Forest at home? This game he doesn't need to start, but it feels like right now he cannot go into a game without Bernardo. He comes out in press conference and say, I go to bed sleep. I sleep better when I play Bernardo. I feel so good. What do you mean? You've got 14 players. And the only player that you trust is the one you've signed 9 years ago. Are you mad?
Why buy one of the best finishing number 8 in Serie A and then bench him? I don't get him at all. He's I don't know. Pep has lost it, and I think Carl was right.
This sort of decision, bro, he pisses me off, man.
Yeah. It's weird, man. But I mean, what the data tells you from all the matches is that they figured him out. They've figured it out. You don't lose 5-1 to Madrid if they haven't figured you out in 2 legs. You know, you just don't. 5-1.
Yeah. I hear what you say is the one who knows Pep tactic more. Yeah, because he's been there the longest, right? But at the same time, even Modric was the one who knew Ancelotti tactics more. But Ancelotti wasn't start Modric every game. He understood that the game right now needs a different profile, and if I need Modric, I can bring Modric on, right? Either to see out the game, to calm down the tempo of the game, right? Not playing like run him into the ground playing every single game in 90 minutes. The games you don't need Bernardo, and he's been poor in some games. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. The games in there.
Foden has been poor and he's been punished. Foden is being punished.
When you play against a lower block, lower block team, like the team just put 10 men behind the ball. What do you think playing Bernardo is going to offer to your team? It's because he's not going to do anything magic. He's not going to put any ball through. He's just going to be there to keep it simple, keep it tight. That's why against this team that defend, like put 10 men behind the ball, you need players that will take risks. You need the Cherkis. You need the Fodens. You need like technically ballers in the pitch that will break the teams down. When you go to Liverpool away or a Real Madrid away, then you can bring on Bernardo, like play him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, these are questions that we have no answers to.
Because if you're using these arguments, well, John Stones and Rico Lewis, they know Pep's tactics as well. How come they're not playing?
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Nathan Akin knows it. Nathan Akin's been pretty much the same amount of years as Bernardo, 1 or 2 less. John Stones was signed before Bernardo.
Foden was in the academy. This is his bread and butter.
Do you know what I mean, bro? Bernardo Silva doesn't need to play every single game. We play every 3 days, and you just playing Bernardo. Listen, the games he's been very
same as Rodri. Rodri doesn't have to play the game.
Stinkers.
Yeah.
Come on, man. And now, right? You trust your captain, right? You ask your captain, yeah, you're the one who's going to do the press conference today for the Champions League. All this PR, all these move trailers that we've seen from X account on the City account. Oh my God, this. Oh my God, folks on Tuesday. This. Oh, we're ready now. Tifo's out. Yada yada yada. Right? We're 3-0 down, 20 minutes in, and your captain decides to be the goalkeeper. All right. You knew, yeah. Even there's VAR. Even though your hands aren't behind your back, but if you just stick your hands out, it's a penalty because you literally stopping the ball with your hands.
Yeah.
These guys are supposed to be your most experienced player, the guy you trust. Is the guy that with the 20 minutes he gets himself sent off and gave away the penalty.
Yeah.
Because if that was Nico G, oh, brother, if that was Nico G doing that, let's believe it, you'll never hear the end of it. Oh, that's why he doesn't play. See, now he cost us the tie. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mateus, can I ask you a question?
Or
can I ask the whole group a question? Are there players that have stagnated and have been the same players for the last 2-3 plus years? Because I'm looking at Doku, and there's some things he may do better on the margins, but from year 1 to year 3,
Doku's shit, mate.
I'm not gonna say shit. He seems like he's still the same player.
Yeah,
if I'm looking at Rico Lewis from when he broke through to today, when he plays, it still seems like he's the same player. When I look at Foden from outside his PFA season, it seems like he's still the same player, and it's just a wrinkle of better performance. I'm looking at Haaland. Has he added a new dimension to his game? I still feel as though he's either the same player or he's even regressed, because I'm not seeing some of the outside shooting that we saw at Dortmund. Are there too many players in the squad that have either been here or recruited here, and it's either they've stagnated, regressed, and as a result, we're just not going to see them being positive, regardless of whether they're playing or not, because the platform isn't changing. So if the platform isn't changing, Pep's not going to change to accommodate them. How do we expect growth from these players? Like who's genuinely improved over the last 5 years? And we can say that guy is he's taking the next step. Who's taking the next step?
Nobody, to be honest. I don't think anybody has improved.
No one.
So then,
would you say Nunes?
Nunes, yeah.
Nunes, okay. Your makeshift right back.
Has Nunes improved our midfield? Oh, he's been asked to do a complete different task, because at the end of the day, we bought Nunes to be a midfielder, but he wasn't working. But do you count Nunes because he's been playing left back and he's doing well?
I don't know. It's difficult.
Because listen, let's give it the minor credit. Let's say Nunes, right? But at the same time, and Nico G, to be fair, but Nico G was good though, even when we signed him.
Yeah, but Nico G, we knew what he is. Nico O'Reilly, we knew he's a midfielder.
O'Reilly improved, to be fair, in his game compared to last season.
Okay, but you say that now. We'll use O'Reilly as a template versus the midfield that Pep's had in the
O'Reilly
past.
was good in the academy though. He was. I was looking forward to see O'Reilly in the first team.
I get that, but just build with me, Mateus, because Carl alluded to this. The midfield that he had with KDB, with Gundo, and even with Rodri, they could pass, they could shoot, they could defend. Is O'Reilly a passer? Is he a consistent shooter? And is he a consistent above average defender? Because those three guys, when they were in the spine in the middle, they did those three things either at an average or above average level in one of the three categories. So if we have a guy that we're saying he's improved or he's good, have you seen him defend consistently at an above average level? It was a left back, not in the midfield. Have you seen him score consistently? Has that been in the midfield? Has that been in a box crashing role? Or has that been when he's played further up in a 10? And have you seen him, pass, shoot, defend? Brother, I can't reference anyone in the midfield that does those three things outside of Rodri now, and Rodri's a shell of himself. So if you don't have players that do those three things, shouldn't you change the platform, or shouldn't you acknowledge that maybe you actually, for the system to work, if you're not going to change it, you have to go and get players that can do those three things. Otherwise, it's not going to work. There's going to be holes that are going to pop up, and you're going to be trying to put band-aids, hoping that it doesn't break eventually.
Yeah, no, none of them. Because when I look at our team, yeah, all right, if we would go against PSG, we get slapped. If we would go against Bayern Munich, we get slapped. And when I mean slap, I mean like 3-4. All right, do you know what I mean? And after the money that we spend, I should expect better. I just feel like either we missing profile most of these players, or we're not using them correctly, or they're just not good enough. And if they're not, let's say let's look at, for example, Matty Gay. Right. You decide to go with Gay because Vardy got injured against Chelsea. We had two major injuries, Vardy and Diaz. So you decide to bring on Kusanov and Nathan Ake. Then you went to Watford and you decide, right, I'm gonna bring in Laney. And he comes in, does well, relatively well. And then you are right, okay, let's bring on Gay. But I think Gay was brought in 6 months too late. Why didn't you attempt to bring Gay in the summer? If that was the guy you wanted him. Do you know what I mean? And Gay comes in, started really well alongside Kusanov. Because Diaz was injured. Then Diaz comes back. Gay played with Diaz, and Gay started his performance started going down because his performance when he plays with Diaz, he was just a shambles of himself. Is it down to the person next to him? Perhaps they don't they haven't got that chemistry between them. Is it because Kusanov just because of his space he can offer a bit more? But then right, we signed Semenyo, right, because you were crying out that you haven't got any attackers. So Doku was injured, Savi was injured, and Marmoush was on the AFCON. Even though when you were crying about Marmoush being on the AFCON, but when Marmoush was here, you were not playing him. Savi was coming off the bench before him. Marmoush was playing 5 minutes, the last 5 minutes of the game. As soon as Marmoush goes to AFCON, you go into press conference why you haven't got any attacking player. Then you buy an attacking player, comes in, does well on the eye, and then you decide, right, okay, I'm going to bench me number 10 and play the wide players at number 10, and then I'm going to play a high line. I've got a defender who's fast to deal with all the ball over the top and others got pace, which is what he was dealing against Real Madrid. I'm going to bench him because I'm going to play with captain or my second captain at the back. And then 1 minute you play O'Reilly, left back. The next minute Eight Nore, and then you take your DM comes back and you forget the guy who was carrying on the team in the first half of the season. So the whole decision making coming from top to bottom has been a shambles. On the pitch, it's down to Pep. The sign is down to recruitment. Pep, so to an extent, but the recruitment, it needs to do better. It feels like we're signing players since the January 2025. We are signing players that maybe the manager fancies them, but the manager is asking them to do a complete different style to what they are good at. We sign players that play in transition, but we want them to play possession-based football. We want them to have 1 billion touches on the ball. Yeah. Now, much Semenyo Haaland, their first touch of crap. So don't ask them to be involved in the play. Play the ball through to them so they can score. That's it. That's what they're good at. Scoring goals. That's it. Do you know what I mean? But it seems like we are buying all these players. Reinders is a transitional midfielder. That's why you see Reinders making a lot of runs. He's striking off the ball and needs improvement. That's for sure, because he needs to improve in his finishing, but he gets into the right positions. right? If you play him right, and then you've got all these wingers, Doku and Savio, right? Every time you play them, there's no fullbacks to help them out. Everything's just shambles, mate. Because at the end of the day, I'll tell you what, if we don't win that cup final, then I don't know what's going to happen until the end of the season. Because if we don't win that, I think our next game is Liverpool after that, isn't it? Let me just check, because we've got the cup final on Sunday. Then we've got Liverpool, right? With Liverpool. When is the 4th? Right. So we got cup final, international break, right? Then Liverpool. So if we don't win that cup final, we go into international break. Then we've got Liverpool in the quarterfinals. I'll be at home, but people say, "Oh, we're going to beat them at home." Well, you didn't beat Brighton at home. You didn't beat Chelsea at home this year. We didn't beat who was it? Forest at home.
Leverkusen.
Real Madrid at home. But you do all right, we're going to beat them at home. But because if we get knocked out that game, then it's done for the season. Back it up, because we're not going to beat Chelsea away, right? And then we've got Arsenal next, where Arsenal we come in here with 9 points lead, and they were like, right, we're 9 points in front of you. Try to attack us. Right? We're just going to hit on a break, and if we get a corner, we make sure we score from a corner, because we are shit at defending corners. Look at that West Ham goal. Awful, right? And we know they will score from corners, because the last time they came to the Etihad, guess what? They scored from a corner. Bro,
This man has taken us from a potential quad to 0, going to potential 0. I don't know. I think Daniel is right. Well, who has he improved? Nobody. Hell. And people don't understand. Sometimes you just need a new voice in a dressing room. Just a new voice. I don't know, man. I'm done. I don't know, man. I have nothing to say about Pep, because every time you say something about Pep, people get angry. They think you're not being objective. You're trying to do an agenda or something. But the proof is right there in front of us. The guy has lost it. Like, I'm telling you, that Carabao Cup, he better pray for a miracle, because he has no legs to stand on now. Nothing. Remember last season, people told me, "Oh, give him this season. We'll see next season." Oh, here we are. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But anyway, we've done 3 hours of the stream, man, and we're gonna end up in here. We're probably gonna do another show on Friday for the final. Gonna probably do a preview, but yeah, it's for me. Enzo Maresca. Yeah, Enzo Maresca is not the answer. I don't want him anywhere near the club. Maresca out. Oh, bro. Someone said Maresca out already.
If you notice, I mean, the majority of the fan base are not, I mean, saying Pep out with like the Arsenal fan base did with Arsenal, right? But many people are just asking the questions that are head scratches, and a lot of people they think us asking questions is that we hate the manager or we hate the club. That's not the case.
No, he's got to take the blame. Sorry, but he's got to take the blame.
Just asking the question as to what's going on.
Same with the players. The players need to take some responsibility on the pitch as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like we've seen this, but even when we won at the Bernabeu, we won 2-1 this season. What happened as soon as we start the game, Vardy gave the ball away, then Diaz gave the ball away again, then Bernardo Silva gave the ball away at the edge of our box. And remember when the referee went for the penalty, then they checked VAR, was outside the box. So it's so many things that is happening, even with the most experienced players, that it's just not acceptable. Diaz, we were 2-1 up against the Leeds at home. We were 2-0 up they just decide to give the ball away at the edge
Well,
of his own.
I think, but the frustrating thing for me is you're
Are we trying
1-0.
too much?
Well, no, you're 1-0 up, right? We all know that this team can't defend a 1-0 lead. But then instead of going for the 2 and going for
Yeah,
the
we sit
3,
back.
like
It's Boris.
Barca or PSG, you want to sit and pass the ball sideways, try and control. Why?
Yeah, it was against Forest. Every time we were leading the score line, we were just not really attacking anymore. We're like, oh, let's just control the game. Your team cannot control games. We've seen from Arsenal way, we cannot control games. That was game week 3 or game week 4, whatever. Right? Or 6 maybe, because we played with United first. Right? We cannot control games. We've seen against Monaco. Remember when we played Monaco away?
Yeah.
We cannot control games. There's so many examples where you have to go out there and kill the opposition. Listen, we've tried, but at the same time, that's where the players need to take some responsibility. That's why I need to be also fair to share the blame. There were opportunities where the players had the chance to score and they didn't score. That's on them.
Yeah.
Against Brighton, when it was 1-1, we got 2 gifted balls in their own box, and we failed to score.
Yeah, the Silva one, isn't it? The Silva, I saw it and they failed.
Haaland.
Yeah.
That's not on the manager. I need to listen. That is on the players, because Bernardo Silva, you're on 300 grand a week. You 1v1 with the keeper. You can't hit the target. You hit the post. Haaland, you've over £500,000 a week, and you're shooting like that, like in a training session.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But anyway, guys, we're gonna wrap it up in here. It's been 3 hours of stream. We have gone and meltdown. Big up Husam for the raid, and big up Carl and Patrick. We're probably gonna be doing another. I don't know. We're probably doing another stream tonight. It depends. How are you feeling, boys?
If I'm available, I'll be there. No worries.
Yeah.
Daniel, are you there?
Daniel, we're gonna
Daniel's
be.
gone.
I'll message Daniel.
He's gone. Yeah, good guy.
Yeah. We're gonna work double shifts in there.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, yeah. We speak. Oh yeah. Yeah. We probably having another stream tonight. But yeah, we'll see. Big up everyone. Big up everyone
All right.
in the chat. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Yeah.
And all them crap. But yeah, I'll see you soon, man.
I see you.
Yeah.